What's up, guys? Welcome to my late night special. Today's video is going to be a pretty cool collaboration with some of my friends, and that is Daniel from the Cobwebs channel, Ken from Mid-Level Media, John from Let's Talk Entertainment and Media, and Ashley and Ken from Sledgehammer Horror. We're going to be discussing the horror movies of 2024. What are some of our favorites? Most disappointing, and just talk about horror movies in general. Because you guys know I love discussing and talking about horror with you guys. Hit that like and subscribe button, guys. I really appreciate it if you do. And yeah, also really quick, everyone's opinion is very different. It's all subjective. And, I just want in the comment section just to have great dialogue with one another and have a good time. For me, that's really important for tonight's stream, is to have a good time and just talk about the genre, which I love, which is horror, and just have other people with me and just get their own thoughts about this year, because I think personally it's a pretty good year. Yeah. So let's bring out one by one. So today I have John from Let's Talk Entertainment.
Hey guys, what's up?
I have Kenny Levels. Ken from Let's Talk, or from Mid-Level Media. I can't even talk.
Ken from Let's Talk Media.
Daniel from the Cobwebs channel.
So I put Kenny there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have another
How's it
Ken.
going,
So I
guys?
wanted you to, you can call me Kenny, call him Ken. It doesn't have to be confusing,
There we go. What's up, Daniel? How's it going, buddy?
Hey, man, doing super good. I'm so happy to be back on the Frank's Media and Reviews channel.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. So I don't know if you guys also know that you guys can stream the video on your channel if you want to. If not, it's all good. I'm just here to have a good time and discuss about horror with you guys. And let's bring Ashley and Ken.
How do we sound now?
You sound great.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
good.
Yeah, perfect. So what I would like with you guys. So first of all, thank you guys for coming to my channel. This is something that I've been wanting to do. I just loved connecting and talking with you guys on and off YouTube. You guys have been just pretty badass people. Very supportive, and you guys love the horror genre just like moi. And I really just want to know your guys' opinions, and just talk about my love, the horror genre. So my first question, and I didn't even write it down, y'all. I gave these guys like the list, and what kind of questions I'm going to ask. But bam, I'm going to ask one that's a little surprise. I'm going to start off this way.
Come on, Frank.
Yeah. I'm going to start off with John, and then we'll work our way to Kenny, then Daniel, and Ashley and Ken. So John, my question to you is, what makes a good horror film to you?
For me personally, what makes a good horror film, I always preferred more of the satanic horror films more than the slasher horror films. So I was always leaning towards that way, me personally. So I always kind of prefer the ones that like aren't trying to give you the jump scares, unless they're earned. I prefer that, but building up good atmosphere, tense horror films, those are the ones I always preferred.
Nice. Ken, what about you?
Pretty much agree with what John said. I mean, it's a good horror film to me has to get under my skin and has to scare me on some level. Those are the horror films that I usually gravitate towards. Now, I like a good fun slasher, stupid good time, just as much as the next person. But the great horror films to me, the ones that stand the test of time, are the ones that truly unsettle you.
Daniel?
It has to make it into the Criterion Collection. That's the only way movies are
100%.
I know Kenny agrees for
Night
sure.
of
Night of the
Dead.
Hunt is in there, so we're good.
Hell yeah.
No, for me, I think it's two things. For one thing, atmosphere. I really like horror because if it's a world that I just like to exist in. And then two, imagination. I think that's probably my favorite thing about horror is just there's just so much imagination that could go into it. So I just really love to see the creativity, I think.
Beautiful. Ashley, yeah, we'll go with you.
So I like a good psychological horror film. I like something that I can't pick out. Like I like to figure it out, but I don't want to know. Like I want to be surprised. So something that can trick me and think one thing and really it's another. Like I love that. I love a horror film like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say the best horror film for me is a family drama that scares me.
Yeah.
If you're going to give me characters I can genuinely care about, people I can genuinely care about, and make me feel like, fuck, I don't want anything to happen to these people. Please let them be okay. That's probably my favorite type of horror film is when it's a family drama wrapped up in a bunch of terror and scary shit.
Also gore. Like if I have to like not want to look at it, but I do want to look at it, like hell yeah, like bring it on.
She's definitely she's the gore horror, and I'm like the rom-com horror guy.
I love a good rom-com horror. That's great.
Yeah. Give me the Notebook in a haunted house and I'm happy.
That'd be a great movie. I'd pay to watch that.
All be starring Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling goes up to the ghost. What do you want?
While driving like some fast car or something,
Right.
just like just to get
Well,
it.
if you're a ghost, I'm a ghost.
Me.
So I wanted to ask that question really quick, just because I wanted to get your guys' point of view of what. So before we kind of get into the 2024 horror films and discuss them, because we may go into spoilers. I have no idea, but if we maybe I'd try best not to be so spoiler, I guess. But some of these movies that we're discussing, I mean, part of it, what makes the film great or the story is good or bad, is that kind of spoiler. You kind of have to talk a little bit of it. So I'm just kind of give everyone a fair warning that it may happen. But again, I just want everyone just to talk about the horror genre, or the horror movie. So I'm gonna say what's up to some people really quick. So Raymond, I saw you. What's going on? Kevin Kruger, Ryan Swayze, and let's see. There we go. Beyond the Grave Media. What's going on, buddy? He's got some great horror content. Definitely follow him. John Doe Juggalo. What's up, Jeff? What's going on, buddy? Follow another great content creator right there. And Joel right here. Dark Rooms Reviews. What's going on? Follow his channel as well. Let's see. Yeah, Adrian James saying, "What's up, Levels?" Kenny.
What's up, Adrian?
That's cool, man.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, Joel. That is the first time someone has done that. So thank you so much.
Awesome.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know who it goes to. I'm on StreamYard, so I don't know.
Tells us who it goes to unless you're in the chat.
We can see normally who it would go to.
Okay. Okay.
I think it went to Raymond,
Yeah,
actually.
it looks like it.
Oh, okay. So Raymond, there you go. So that's awesome. So again, thank you, Joel, so much. What's going on? Adrian saying hello to Daniel. Holland Oates. What's going on, buddy?
That's a beautiful name.
Yeah.
I know. I love that name.
Eli Cortez. What's
What's up,
going
Eli?
on, guys? And let's see. Looks like there's some other people as well. Holy cow. Okay, so Webb and Johnny K are the only film men on the panel whose opinions I respect.
I don't respect your opinion.
What about the two cans?
So,
I
I don't
saw
respect
that
your
and I was
opinion
like,
either.
who is Webb? I have no idea. And then I figured
I'm
it
sure
out.
I wouldn't take offense to that, Ken. That was probably directed towards me.
Let's go.
A lot smarter guys on here than me. So
What's up,
Yeah.
Wilkie?
Yeah, Corey, what's going on? And there we go. Yeah,
Hey, what's up,
Steve, what's
Steve?
going on?
Hey man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, follow Wilkie and Excelsior. He's both guys are great with their
Yeah.
channel, so follow them.
Love them both.
So I just started that right there. Corporate Ken.
corporate Ken.
Corporate Ken. I
Wait,
heard
which
that
one of us
name in
is
a long
corporate
time.
Am I corporate Ken or is he corporate Ken?
Yeah. No.
You
Oh, let's see,
gotta
the
let me
names-
know what's going on here, man.
Yeah.
You got two Kens here, damn it.
As long as the money comes in, I don't care.
Yeah.
Call me.
I didn't sell out. I bought in. all right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, how I would like to start is honorable mentions. We'll go with if you have 3, that'd be great. If not, at least 1. I will start with Ashley and Ken. You can, if you want, just
So we're doing
give me all of them.
we're right now we're doing our favorites or least favorites of the year.
Well, right now we're doing honorable mentions. So just let's
Honorable
go
mentions for
with
favorites?
let's go honorable mentions of best of. So we'll do it that way. So
right,
that
so-
didn't make your top 5, but are pretty close.
My 3 honorable mentions they're both we usually at Sledgehammer Horror
We
go
rate it
by
5, like
skulls.
5 skulls. Yeah.
0 to 5 skulls is how we rate. So my 3 honorable mentions, all 3 of these got 3.5 skulls. That's going to go to Lisa Frankenstein, Sting, and Longlegs. Those
Okay.
3 got 3.5 skulls for me. Lisa Frankenstein was a lot of fun. Not really generally my type of film. Sting, I actually really, really like Sting. I want to put that in contention for surprise of the year so far.
Yeah.
And Longlegs, I liked Longlegs, but it was so overhyped. It was never going to live up to what I thought it was going to be. And still a good movie. I still enjoyed it. But obviously, when I'm hearing every single person say, this is the scariest movie since, I'm like,
I feel like that's the overall theme for 2024 in horror.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
everything's
just so scary, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
everything.
I'm scared all
I
the
do.
time.
I did get Sting on Blu-ray yesterday. I'm excited to watch it, but I haven't watched it yet.
I'm telling you what I
I-
love about Sting, and I'm going to say this with like no spoilers, obviously, at all. The practical effects and the puppeteering work is so good, Ken.
Mhm.
Like
Nice.
it reminds me of almost like Gremlins meets Arachnophobia with how great the puppeteer work and the practical effects.
Now,
it really
Wasn't there
reminds me of
another
80s
Spider
style.
movie that came out this year?
Infested.
Infested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all for the Spider
We haven't
film
seen Infested yet.
resurgence.
Ken, I like your Dracula shirt, by the way. I see that. That's awesome.
Dracula.
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you're talking the other Ken.
Got all of
I've got
them.
all the
That's why I changed my
universals on
name.
here.
The sexier Ken. There you go.
Yes.
Pink.
Everybody's the Universal Monster theme. I got Michael Myers.
Um,
Oh yeah, Michael Myers doesn't get enough attention, right? Right, Ken?
Right.
He's so
That
underrated.
is
We don't
exactly-
talk about
Halloween.
that.
Halloween 2 doesn't get enough attention.
I agree.
That's all the merchandise they seem to put
That's
out.
You're
a
right.
good
Rob
movie,
Zombie's
isn't
Halloween
it?
2 does
That's a
not
great
get enough
movie.
love. I agree.
Isn't it?
Can we just go back to good movies and stop talking about this Halloween shit?
Ken brought it up.
I'm over here like
Don't even. You can't lay on me.
blackest eyes. The devil.
It was
He
that.
loves it.
Dr. Sartain, put the mask on again. So you gotta give your 3 honorable. So yeah, my honorable mentions for favorites are Lisa Frankenstein, Sting, and Longlegs.
All right, I have Lovely, Dark, and Deep. I think Georgina Campbell was amazing. She's definitely making her name in horror, and she definitely kept that movie alive for me. Longlegs, you already talked about. I don't know. I guess I also expected something more. I don't know, more or different.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it. It kept me entertained enough. And then I had The First Omen, which I actually really did enjoy The First Omen a lot. But there's some above it that I liked more. So they had to be.
Are we
honorable
getting
mention.
saucy Ken tonight? He's talking about Halloween.
Dude, I wanted to
shaking
like
his
the
head.
first Omen so bad. Like all I liked about it was a hand out of the vajige. That's about the only thing that really
that-
stuck with me, man.
Good scene
mean,
though. Good
Why
scene.
wouldn't that stick with anybody? Literally, I
Right.
felt like
You
I
didn't like
needed
the
to hear my
callback? It's all
16-year-old
for
guy.
you.
It's
I
all-
did it like that. Like
Wow.
that's the,
That doesn't
that's
I was
the
like,
stuff that
I understood that
irritated me,
reference.
man.
It's cheap.
it's all for you.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, I know what you're doing up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a little homage to
That
in the
movie
very
felt
beginning
like
of the
Revenge
film.
of the Sith
in that one.
Yeah.
of horror films.
Yeah, yeah. I know. And on Twitter land, it's super popular. We can talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, Daniel, buddy, your honorable mentions for the best stuff outside of your top 5.
Okay, so definitely Kenny's favorite of the year, Strangers Chapter 1. No, I'm just kidding. So my number 6
What?
is Late Night with the Devil. Pains me that it's not in my top 5. That just kind of shows you what a strong year that it is. But I really, really like Late Night with the Devil. I would also say Low Lives, which is a Tubi original, which I'm kind of biased by because a buddy of mine co-directed it. But still, I went into it like, well, let's see what he did. And I felt like I was super impressed by it. It was very subversive on the genre it was a part of and really, really fun and bonkers. And then like the surprise of the year for me that I just want to champion so much is Frogman. I love Frogman.
Hell
It's
yeah.
a found footage cryptid horror movie about people going out into the woods with their camcorder trying to find the Frogman. And it is fun. It's really entertaining throughout. But like the Frogman practical effects are like way better than I expected. So I really enjoy that movie.
Soon to be
Check
a
that
Vinegar
out.
Syndrome
I know.
partner label release.
Dude, that
I
would
have
be
I need to
awesome.
see that.
fear of
Would
frogs
love it.
as it is.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. I don't like frogs.
genuinely.
Like,
Frog
they creep
Really?
me out. So I think that would
Like,
like
for real.
genuinely scare me. Yeah.
I'm always like, babe,
Oh.
they literally cannot do anything to
Frogs and mice. I don't know. I don't like stuff that can creep around. It freaks me out.
What about when it's Wednesday, my dudes?
I get it. I didn't get the reference.
It's a meme. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
That's like back in the Vine days, man. Like we're going down that rabbit
I'm a
hole.
millennial. What can I say?
Yeah, everyone's all awkward.
I'm old. What can I say?
That joke went over like
It
a
went
fart
over
inch
my
back
head.
then.
I'll be honest.
Kenny. What is your top honorable mentions?
I'll also say Low Lives, but I'm biased because Daniel knows people that directed it as well.
Oh, it's just for me. Okay.
No, I did watch that movie because you recommended it, I think, in a short. I was like, you know what? A Tubi original, huh? I don't have to pay anything for this. And I checked it out and I was like, damn, this is actually pretty good. So I enjoyed that one. Nice subversion on like The Hills Have Eyes or Wrong Turn, I feel like. And it kind of took it in a direction that I didn't expect. Now, where it goes from there, I don't think is nearly as strong as where it starts, but I did enjoy that movie quite a bit. And then The First Omen, I'd say as well, as an honorable mention. It's okay. I liked it, but that was one that I didn't really, it kind of looked like crap when they showed the first trailer, and I was like, there's no way this is going to be good. Everybody said it was great, and then I watched it, and I'm like, it's okay. It's fine.
You met in the middle right there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's fine. You know?
You got one more? Or that was it?
I don't think anything else is honorable enough.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Spicy Ken. Another one. Okay. John, what's yours?
I'm also going to echo what Ken said about this Ken to my left, or my right rather, about The First Omen. I felt like it was all right. It was fine. Like I liked it, but it didn't blow me away or anything. And then Stink, I thought that one was pretty good too. Same thing. The practical effects were great. A good winter horror movie. And the stepfather element, I kind of appreciated that in Sting a little bit. I thought that was actually pretty well done. So that would go up there. And then the last one would be I just saw it yesterday, but Trap, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. It was actually pretty good, I thought. It's got a million plot holes in it, I thought, but I still really enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just saw that literally like 3 hours ago. So
Did you like
before this.
it?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I think for me it was okay. I think seeing that movie for Josh's performance,
That's what
is
stands out.
worth it.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I think his performance is really good. But it's same with some of the
Do
other
you-
reviewers. It's like a damn music video.
The
I thought it was
music
just
is the
slightly
worst part
too
of it.
much. No, I actually didn't mind the music per se,
Really?
but it was just too much.
Yeah.
So
I would have
Um,
trimmed. You could have trimmed some minutes off of like 4 of her songs, and cut that movie down a little bit.
mhm. Kenny, you were about to say something.
Do you all watch Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So did you see the episode with Josh Hartnett and Jesse from Breaking Bad? I think
Oh no, I didn't see that one.
that was in the newest season, and that was spectacular. That's probably the best thing I've seen Josh Hartnett do in a very long time.
Really,
Black
But I haven't
Mirror.
seen Trap.
Okay.
And that's great.
he's the
Yeah.
standout in that movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not even close.
Yeah.
In
I'm
my
going to
opinion.
be the huge minority on Trap tonight. I already feel it.
You're not.
I'm so going to be the minority on Trap.
I love it. I
Is that
love
going to
it.
be most disappointing?
No, there's another one for me. Oh my goodness. Okay. So my honorable mentions is the coffee table.
Ooh.
That one is pretty dark. It's a dark subject matter, but there's some funny ass scenes in it. I think it blends comedy, like that dark comedy, into definitely a very terrible situation. But I found it very entertaining. And I was actually messaging one of the yeah, there we go, Beyond the Grave right here. Actually just messaged him last night, just saying, "Oh my god, I think I like this movie. Does this make me a weirdo?" Because yeah, I mean, it's a dark movie, man. But I thought it blended the subject matter with comedy pretty good. Another one is Eczema. Saw it on Shudder. Again, guys, get Shudder, man. It's fantastic streaming service.
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
yeah, it's a South Korean film, and it's got one of my favorite actors in it, who's Old Boy. I'm trying to find it. Of course, I can't find it.
What's the South Korean movie?
Eczema.
I haven't
Is
heard of it.
Ching-
Okay, cool.
No, yeah, definitely. It's Eczema is basically the guy from the Old Boy is a geomancer, so he looks over the grave and like the plot of the land and seeing if it's just like bad vibes basically.
Ooh, cool.
And it just goes into like South Korean folklore, and it is awesome, man.
I'm gonna watch that ASAP. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it is so damn good. And anything with my boy from Old Boy, no pun intended, because he's also in I Saw the Devil. Gosh, what's his name? I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. Oh, Choi Min Sink. That's the guy from Old Boy, who's also in I Saw the Devil and Eczema. So highly recommend that film. And then my other one is In a Violent Nature. That one I actually did like a lot. I really liked your review, Daniel, about it. You could tell like you had a lot of passion about that film. So yeah. But I liked for what it was. It was something totally different. Again, it's a Jason. It's a movie that we kind of wanted for a long time with a different villain. But I thought it was really good. So those were my honorable mentions. Let's see. Rook King, what's going on? He liked In a Violent Nature. And this is something that we will kind of talk about a little bit, Kevin. And let's see, Late Night Disturbing and Great. Let's see, Infested was better. Yeah, I need to see Sting, man, because both of you guys have
I
said
really like
is-
Sting a lot.
Yeah, Sting is good.
I haven't seen Infested,
Right.
so that's still on the watch list to check that out. So we have to see that movie.
Yeah, it's a French film. I think I thought it was okay. That's just me. But it's pretty high on some people's.
I'm with you,
list.
Frank.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see Sting. So a lot actually. So yeah. Beyond the Grave, Sting, Long Legs, Late Nights. Need to see Oddity. We gonna be talking about that movie, baby. Oh gosh, damn, love that movie. And Late Night Devil was great. I want to see the movie Infested. Yeah. What's going on, William? And
now is
this
Oddity
one-
is Oddity only in theaters right now?
as of right now, yes, but
Very
Very
there's a-
limited release.
Isn't
Yeah.
it a Shudder movie?
No, it was
Not-
announced.
It hasn't been out by
today.
me.
Yeah, I was announced today, I believe, that on August 20th or 21st, it's going to be streaming, or at least you can rent it digitally. So, highly recommend it. And again, that movie was the theatrical release was like, I swear to God, like 2 weeks. It was so brief, man. But yeah, we'll be talking about that one. And then I want Cuckoo. That's coming out this weekend, right?
Want to see it
Yes,
so bad.
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, I want to see that one very much. And then Sting. Okay. So yeah, Sting was good. So we'll get into your best of. So let's go with Daniel. We'll start with Daniel.
So is it my whole top 5 or just number 5?
So what we'll do, as I mentioned, that we'll start with 5, starting with 5, and then we'll work our way down, or to number 1. But then we'll go with everyone. So everyone will just say their 5, and we'll go from there. So Daniel, you'll say your 5, and then I'll go on to the next person, to Ashley and Ken, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. So my number 5 is Abigail. Big fan of Abigail. I just thought it was just like perfect popcorn, fun horror to go see in the theater. I love vampire movies. I did not have a problem with the fact that the trailer says that it's a vampire movie. I don't think there's anything wrong with knowing that's a vampire movie going in, because I did really like the setup, and I really liked getting to know the characters more and watching their dynamics. I thought the characters were really fun, really liked the actors. I mean, I love Dan Stevens, Melissa Barrera, but the vampire stuff was like really satisfying, really bloody. I love where it goes in the third act, because I was kind of thinking like, how good is a movie that's just about a little ballerina girl vampire really going to be? But they took it to some really cool places, especially by the third act, that I thought were really fun. So I had a blast with Abigail. That would be my number 5.
That's one thing I think everyone, I'm assuming everyone is like, it was a pretty fun film, at least pretty enjoyable. Ashley and Ken, your number 5.
My number 5 is Sting. We already talked about it a little bit, but I went into this movie, I had 0 expectations. I'm not really into like spider type like creature movies, and I had a lot of fun with this. I love the family dynamics of it. Like we talked about, the practical effects were really great, and it's like they said, in the middle of the winter and just like being secluded, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So yeah,
Really goopy.
yeah, and I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, honestly. So yeah.
That's
So
funny
all-
that you're cool with spiders, but not frogs.
Yeah.
I don't really like.
Fucking weird.
I know. I know.
No joke. When
Frogs are scary.
They're
we were
weird.
together,
But, hey, when I'm cutting grass,
I'm
I'm out there, I'll lift something up. There, frog underneath it jumps. Yeah,
It's scary, right?
Little
like,
guys.
this is
Yeah.
no joke. Like, we've
I'm
been
a
together
frog
20
person.
years. We got together in high school, and we were at our apartment, one of the first apartments we ever lived in.
That frog was so damn
Dude,
big.
all of a
though.
sudden I heard boom on our sliding glass window, and I was like, I thought some kids were running
It
around.
was like a cat size.
Dude,
I swear
it was
to
like
God.
this big. Like, it was even.
I was
like,
ready
I'm not
to.
touching
I was
that
ready
thing.
to move away, like move
Yeah.
out.
We got
They
the-
grow 'em big in Michigan, apparently.
I was terrified. Yes.
So I didn't want to say my 5, 4, and 3. I gave all these 4 skulls, so these could all be interchangeable. But for today, my number 5 is going to be Maxine. I'm a huge fan of the first 2 acts of Maxine. The reveal on kind of pissed me off a little bit. But again, it's still 4 skulls. Like, I still like the movie. But once you get the reveal, which I'm not going to spoil for anybody, a lot of the other parts of the movie, I was like, "Ew, brother, ew." You were, brother, ew.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of weirded me out. But The performances were great. I wish we could have gotten more because the on-screen kills that we did get were phenomenal.
Mhm.
So I wish some of the other deaths would have been on screen because the way that they did the ones that we got were just so damn good. So yeah, number 5 for me for the year so far is going to be Maxine.
Yeah, there was that crunch scene in the alleyway. That was a great.
Yes. I was like, get it, girl.
Yeah,
Damn.
Yeah.
yeah. After that happened, she looked over at me, and I was just like,
better do those damn dishes.
"Yeah,
Right now.
we don't need a dishwasher, Mom. I got this."
I got this. Yeah.
Don't make
Oh,
me
my
next
goodness.
seen you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Kenny, what about you, buddy?
My number 5 is Abigail. I kind of struggle with number 5 because my top 4 is kind of set in stone. I know those are my favorites of the year. My number 5 is, I liked Abigail. I didn't think it was great, but I had fun with it. I liked how it felt more in line with Radio Silence's like directing style from Ready or Not than it did from the Scream movies. It kind of felt more in line with their tonally, but also visually. I felt like they were kind of good companion pieces together. And I like Ready or Not quite a bit. But I love Dan Stevens. And some of the places they take him and his character towards the end, I was on board for. So I enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun.
I learned that those are fucking onions and not garlic. So that really
Yeah.
So thank you, Mr. Stevens.
Iconic line.
Dude, we went and seen the movie, and then the next night we took our 12-year-old and our 4-year-old because we wanted to kind of watch it first. And we literally walked out of the theater. My 4-year-old was like, "Sammy, those are fucking onions." I was like, "Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's what you took away from this
Well,
movie."
the funny thing is we
Great
watched it
parent.
with our kids too.
Yeah.
The first time, and we don't ever watch horror movies together. Usually we're watching it and the kids are upstairs, but I figured a kid ballerina, my daughter might
Right.
enjoy it because she likes Chucky and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we all had fun watching it. So I've just got a fond memory watching the movie.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a great
Mhm.
film, but it's one I'll definitely rewatch.
Yeah.
I think that's an important aspect of what makes a movie good or not. Am I going to feel like watching it again?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, that's. I'm glad you said that, Ken. Is that I love that feeling, man. That can definitely change your opinion. If you're with a great people with you and that whole experience, that will definitely change your opinion, the review.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Love it. John, you're number 5.
My number 5 is going to be Lisa Frankenstein. I really like this movie. It's got the 80s vibe to it. And after rewatching Heathers last night, I felt the inspiration of Heathers on this movie.
Did you get your Arrow 4K in yet?
I did.
You
I
did it already?
That's what I watched it on. Yeah.
He knows people.
I know nobody. I just
Done.
it's on a movie store.
I actually didn't order it, so I shouldn't complain. I didn't even order it.
No, I had to.
I think it's Silence of the Lambs, though.
I love that movie, honestly. And I also really love Lisa Frankenstein. All the colors, all the brightness in this movie, the lightheartedness of it. It was a good time. I think it was you, Frank, in your review, though. You didn't know who Cole Sprouse was, right?
No, hell no.
Ooh.
Nope.
You never saw Big Daddy?
Big
No, man. Oh no.
I wipe my own
Sandler?
ass.
No.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's the Disney movie that they were?
The Sweet Life with
Yeah,
Zach
the
and
Sweet
Cody.
Life of Zach and Cody. Yeah.
Is that a kid show?
Yeah, it's-
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they both acting? Because you'll see them. I see them pop up and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember like which one's which though.
Yeah, neither do I. They're identical. But I saw Cole was in that cancer movie last year also. I don't remember what that was called.
I saw that because my wife made me go see that, where the two
What was
people with
the-
cancer fall in love.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's Cole Sprouse, yeah.
Well, that's convenient, I guess.
Well, the way you guys are describing
Was
it, I
it-
hope the cancer
I
won.
can't take stuff. Take kind of
Wasn't
stuff like
one
that
of them in that
right.
movie 5 feet apart?
Well, they
That's what it was
both
like called. They
like,
could go
their
near
immune
each other.
system's so weak they can't get in proximity with other people.
So is that the one you're
they're
talking
like-
about?
Yeah, they're in love
Okay.
from 5 feet apart.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
watched that too.
Ashley,
Yeah,
what were we saying?
I said I can't take Ken to stuff like that because he cries.
I'll see the trailer and I'm like, we'll watch that at home.
Yeah.
Bring the.
You don't want to
tissues,
cry in
honey.
front of others.
Dude, listen.
He'll make an excuse too, and I'm like, you're fucking crying.
The worst was when we went and seen Creed 3, man. Like
Mm.
I was sobbing. Like I had to get
Those
up
are
and walk out. I
man
felt like I
tears.
was disturbing other people's watch.
I know he's gonna cry before it comes, and I'll just look at
Yeah,
him.
that makes it worse. I'm like, don't cry, don't cry. And then she starts staring at me with the
I'm
mom.
like, it's okay.
The scene with
Let
him and
it
his
out, big
mom
guy.
in Creed 3, I was literally like,
Yeah.
walk out because I felt like I was disturbing other people.
I'm like,
They're like, shut that little girl up.
I cried during Creed 3, but it was for different reasons.
Yeah.
What have they done to my favorite franchise?
Anything with dead moms, dude, and I'm out. The minute a mom's involved, I'm cooked at that point.
Where's Sly?
He was crying.
My number 5 is Immaculate. That would I have not seen Sydney Sweeney star, play in anything. I know that she's in an HBO show, Euphoria.
She's great.
Never seen it, but like, holy shit, man! That was my introduction to her as an actress, and holy smokes, man, she was phenomenal. She is like basically worth seeing that. See that movie just for her performance. Yeah, it was fantastic, man. And then because the first Omen, I think, was first, and then
No, this was first, actually.
Okay, so yeah, they were very close, and I thought it just kind of blew me away going into it. So yeah, I really loved it. Let's go really quick just to the comment section. Let's see. There you go. Yeah, critic. Follow his channel. Bo, what's going on, buddy? And then Raymond. I haven't seen much, but number 5 is Low Life. I need to see Low Life. You said that's the one that's on Tubi?
Yeah,
It's on Tubi.
Okay. Yeah, there's no excuse.
And it's a good
Not
movie
seen
on
that movie.
Tubi.
Okay.
Tubi original. That never happens. It's all thanks to Daniel's buddies.
Yeah. Let's see really quick. And Tiana. What's going on, Tiana?
What's up, Tiana?
And let's see what's going on. Calling everyone's show. Riverdale. There we go. I haven't seen that show.
You ever
either.
seen that clip of him in that show where he's like, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in. It's so funny.
You've seen it a lot.
I've spliced it into some of my
He's got a
videos
Riverdale
before,
shirt.
so. It's cameoed on Cobwebs.
Let's see. John, what is your number 4?
Well, my number 4 is actually Longlegs. That movie was a little bit overhyped, but was still pretty good. Not as scary as, the early reviews will make you think. And it was more of like a detective story, and I appreciated the movie for that. And of course, Nicolas Cage. Anytime he was on screen, he stole the show, as you'd expect from Nicolas Cage. Him just driving down the road screaming, "Mommy, Daddy," like it's something that it'll stick with you. And that's the stuff I take away from this. His lines of dialogue and the way he delivers them are what I take away from Longlegs. And I also love, it's a period piece, like kind of like in the late 80s, early 90s. See the old police cars, the snow. I loved all that. The lead performance was pretty good, and I love how it all kind of came together in the end of the movie. But I went in there with high expectations, and I probably shouldn't have done that. And maybe this will be a little higher, but I still enjoyed Longlegs.
Mm-hmm. And it takes place here in Oregon, baby. So I was hella happy as an Oregonian.
I was
Oregon
born
was
in Oregon.
beautiful.
I heard you say that recently, Frank. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, Oregon. I swear to God, man, nothing beats the summertime in Oregon, man. Because it's not humid for the most part. It's like the temperature isn't generally too over the top, and so yeah, I love summer here in Portland. Yeah.
I can't breathe outside.
I know, right? It's so freaking hot. Like we're sweating.
We're bitching and we're in Michigan.
We are, but it is humid as hell here.
We got to
I'm in
90
Missouri.
today, and I was
It's
like,
brutal. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
95 every day.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got to 90 today, and I was like, I don't want to go outside ever again.
Listen, it's not the temperature, it's the
Oh,
humidity.
Stop.
It's the humidity. It's that thick
I'll
air,
make
like you
you-
just got out of the shower.
I'm down in Kentucky, and it feels like I'm walking into somebody's hot, wet mouth every time.
Yeah, Kentucky. Can I please get that on a t-shirt? I'm walking
You need
into
a shirt
hot,
that says
wet
the
mouth.
hot, wet mouth of physical media.
Oh my God! Trademark that.
Wow.
There'd be a lot
Someone
of people that
feeling
call me
that.
that, I'm sure. In a bad way.
Kenny, what is your number
Is it,
4?
is it my turn?
Yes.
Same as John, long legs. Long legs. I really like long legs too. I tried to temper my expectations going in just because when they're so high, scariest movie of the year. And I was very excited to see it because Nicolas Cage is in it, playing a bad guy serial killer you didn't see him before the movie. So we actually went out and saw it opening weekend, so I didn't get anything spoiled because now they're starting to show pictures of him everywhere.
They showed it
I
that
love-
day, and I was furious, man.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I saw it. I didn't even know what he was going to look like. So it was a great experience
That's good.
getting to see that. And I love Maca Monroe since like The Guest and It Follows. So it was cool to see her back in a movie.
Mhm.
Didn't blow me away. There's some things I'm still kind of conflicted on. One of those is Nicolas Cage's performance. Certain
Shame on you.
things
Get
about
out.
it, I get to see Nicolas Cage, and I didn't want to see Nicolas Cage, but I could.
Yeah.
I always want to see
Um,
Nicolas Cage.
I do
You know
too.
it's Nicolas
Look,
Cage
I like
all
the
the
movie.
time.
I'm all for it, but like it would have been nice to escape a little bit into his
Yeah.
performance, and I never quite felt like I could. Other than that, I was down for the story. I enjoyed the ride. I thought it's ended on a high note. I mean, I enjoyed pretty much every part of it. I'm excited to rewatch it when it comes out on 4K.
Mhm.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I really don't have too many complaints. It was good, but that's my number 4.
Nice.
Daniel, your number 4, please.
My number 4 is In a Violent Nature. Highly controversial movie, although it seems like every movie is highly controversial these days. So, but I loved this movie. And actually, speaking of being controversial, I went to see it with my brother, who I was pretty darn sure would not like it. And I warned him, I explained to him like what this is probably going to be. But we went to see it and he hated it. He was miserable. And I loved it. So it's like quite the discussion afterwards.
Is that why you loved it? Because he hated it so much?
No, for sure not. I didn't even really know he hated it, but as soon as it was over, boom, he was up, and I was just sitting there like, I should be, like asking this. I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I really love atmosphere for horror movies. I love the atmosphere of this. Like, I just love walking through the woods with Johnny. But I don't agree with the people who criticize it saying, oh, it's just a lot of walking, because he's always walking towards something, or there's always something going on in the peripheral. There's actually very little of the movie where he's just aimlessly walking. But I just kind of like the slow pace, the creeping dread of it. I just thought it was very original and interesting. And the kills are amazing. And like, I haven't seen a lot of great kills in horror movies this year. I think there have been several that have been kind of disappointing, but I thought In a Violent Nature was pretty spectacular for that. And I'm conflicted on the ending, but it's interesting and it left me thinking about it, and that's something. So I don't.
They've already started production on part 2,
Mhm.
so
I'm down. My pitch for part
Okay.
2 is they should split the POV between half of it from Johnny's perspective and half of it from that final girl's perspective and make them like co-leads.
Mhm.
I think that would work really well. I think that's kind of the only way you could do a sequel.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how they did the last like maybe 20 minutes.
And that is
Right.
kind of what Terrifier 2 did, because in Terrifier
Yeah.
1, it's basically about Art the Clown, and Terrifier 2, you kind of split it between Art and that new girl. And I think that's what you got to do.
No, I mean I'm with you on the movie. It might come up on my list later.
I don't know.
I
I didn't
honestly,
know you liked it. That's cool.
I thought it would be higher on yours, Daniel. Not gonna
There's
lie.
some bangers this year, man. It's a good year so far, I think.
bangers.
I like
Ashley,
that. You should sing on the videos more.
hell no.
My number 4 was Maxine. I think this is a great trilogy. I love Mia Goth. I think she is amazing. the kills that we did get were amazing. I love the 80s, the feel of the 80s and how well they did that, and like the Psycho reference and stuff like that. Like I loved all of that, and I had a great time. I do agree with you though. The third act is questionable. Like the reveal, all of that wasn't great, but yeah. But other than that, like up to that, I loved it. I was in awe the entire time. So, yeah.
My number 4 is Late Night with the Devil. I love David Dastmalchian. I thought that seeing him in other movies as smaller roles. One that really always stuck out to me was Prisoners. I thought he was great in Prisoners. Like he did such a good job in that movie.
I forget about him being in that movie.
Yeah.
He has a cool scene.
What are you drawing? What are you drawing? He's just,
Oh
I
my
love that shit. I loved him, the little role he had in The Boogeyman. I thought he was great in that.
Yeah.
Man, that movie was really good. I
liked
it.
I thought it was good.
And I thought it was gonna be like generic as hell.
Yeah.
And we watched it on Hulu like a couple of months ago, and I was like, damn, this is really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like a lot of what they were able to do with Late Night with the Devil. I felt like I was genuinely watching a late night talk show. Like I was into that the whole time. All the quips that he had.
Yeah.
I want to see more David Dastmalchian leading roles.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he deserves to have leading roles, and a movie like this, especially where he's able to truly showcase himself. A lot of it was just him being that person, and I thought that he did an amazing job at it. And I was genuinely surprised at how much I really liked this movie. So number 4 for me is Late Night with the Devil.
Can I ask you a question about Late Night with the Devil? So I love the movie too. I hate that it's not on my list. How do you feel about the very ending where it kind of goes away from its found footage concept?
See, the reason I gave this 4 and not higher is because of the ending.
Mm-hmm.
I like what they're trying to set up in the. I can't really say because I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't seen it. But did he know what he was giving up, or did he not know what he was giving up? And I kind of felt like the ending was almost a justification of what he was doing this whole time, because anybody that watched knew what that person was. And I don't mind them going away from found footage there at the end to kind of wrap it all up in a nice little bubble, because we're supposed to be watching the tapes afterwards anyway. And I do love how we had the sepia tones when you're watching the show, and then it goes to black and white when you're getting the behind the scenes that were spliced in.
Mm-hmm.
But the ending itself, it really left things so vague. Like, is this still in his imagination? Is he still traveling like we were seeing? And I'm trying to be as vague as I possibly can for people that haven't seen it, because I'd hate to ruin this for someone that hasn't seen it, because you definitely should go into this movie blind. But I didn't mind that part of the ending. I wish I could get more into this, but
Sure.
there are parts of the ending where I think the justification is there for why they did it, but I still would have liked a little bit more of a background into what happened at the ending too.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Daniel? You asked the question. What's up?
Oh, my own question. The ending's like the one reason I don't love it more, and it's probably the only thing keeping it off my top 5, even though I really like it. And I have a feeling this is going to be one of the movies I rewatch the most, because that atmosphere I love to live in. This movie really has that. But yeah, when it got to the ending, I felt a little deflated. I was like, we're kind of abandoning what made this movie cool, and that kind of. It reminded me of 2001: A Space Odyssey. And I was like, I shouldn't be reminded of 2001: A Space Odyssey at the end of this movie. That doesn't really make sense. But the final shot is really cool, and that helped for me. It has a really good final shot.
Yeah. I liked how berserk and just kind of was just what the hell? What the hell's going on? But I mean, I really love that movie. You'll be seeing it here soon. My number 4. I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, we went through everyone, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My number 4 is stop motion. Yeah, again, you can see this film on Shudder. It is just the stop. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Kenny. You mentioned. I credit you, because I actually didn't see any trailers or anything for it until I saw your review for it on Married with Media. You and your wife, and you guys did a review, and I thought it was just a pretty good, really good one in comparison with like a Possessor, Censor, just like that type of slow pace, and that the stop motion effects is just gorgeous. The eeriness, I just love slow burned movies, and that to me was one of the best of this year. And I liked how it ended, personally. So, we will go to number 3. Number 3, we'll start off with Kenny.
Me? My number 3 is A Late Night with the Devil.
Oh,
I enjoy this movie a lot. I get what you all are saying about the ending. I think my problem wasn't so much the ending, it was just how bonkers they went with like the special effects and stuff.
Mhm.
I
CGI,
didn't enjoy that. It kind of felt like a bad VHS segment when it kind of got to that point. But I'm a sucker for found footage stuff and the atmosphere that can create, and I was just into that movie pretty much from beginning to end. The performance was great, and also like I've never seen a movie like actually reference and talk about Bohemian Grove and just how like creepy that is.
Sure.
So I thought that was pretty ballsy for a new Hollywood movie to do that. I know it's an independent film, but and just really kind of made it a little bit more creepy for me when we were watching it. But yeah, I enjoyed that movie a lot. I think it is one that I'll rewatch quite often, and I'm excited to get that Umbrella edition as well.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, Late Night with the Devil. That's my number 3.
You know, Ken, just because you mentioned it was a Hollywood film, actually, one thing I think is interesting about it is it's an Australian film, and everyone in the movie except David Dastmalchian is an Australian actor, and they all hid their accents.
Okay,
I was so surprised.
so I guess I should have known it was an Australian film since Umbrella's putting it out, probably.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Because they also did Talk to Me, which was an Australian film.
Mhm.
Okay, well that explains it then.
Yeah, it's actually getting a 4K as well from Cape Light Pictures in September. It's almost like the same date
Yeah.
it's releasing.
Well,
That's
another
awesome.
cool thing about the movie is it's found footage, but it does go back and forth with the backstage sequences in black and white.
It is still found footage though, because it's somebody just filming stuff backstage.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how that. I think that movie will look probably pretty good in 4K. I feel like it's more cinematic than your regular found footage film.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know how good Paranormal Activity will look in 4K, but maybe Late Night with the Devil will be all right.
I do think there are all these Blair Witch like fancy editions coming out this year. I always think it's funny when people say like, "Is it going to be 4K?" And I'm like, "Dude,
Do you
No,
want
not
it in
really.
4K?
I mean, I'm all in on that second sight edition 100% when it gets announced, but I don't need it to be 4K.
Really quick, guys, we got a special guest. We got Kristen from Planet CHH.
Planet CHH.
What's
guys.
up?
I'm sorry I'm late.
Don't be sorry. Glad that you joined. Really quick, what is your number 5 for best of
Oh damn!
2024?
Right into it. First off, hi everybody. Nice to see you guys.
Hi.
Good to meet
Some of
you,
y'all,
man.
Hey.
John and Daniel, I've never done anything with you guys before. I've done both Kens. That didn't
I've
sound
done
right.
both.
But,
That-
I'm gonna be respectful to Ashley. I'm not
Come
gonna
on,
say that about
Christian.
Ashley.
Red flags.
First Omen is number 5 for me.
First Omen.
Yeah. First Omen.
Why?
Jesus
Why?
Christ.
Damn it.
He just
I need I need a lawyer. Somebody needs to represent me here.
What made it so good?
Why that over Immaculate? Why?
I didn't see Immaculate. I've been busy. I haven't been able to see a lot of movies. Immaculate I haven't seen, although I like that broad. What's her name?
Cindy Sweeney.
I've seen pictures of her. No, I thought First Omen was good. Like for a movie that's got a name like that, you know, you kind of expect the worst, but I thought that one kind of stood on its own 2 feet. And visually, it kind of went for it. Like for me, when I'm into like religious horror stuff, so like to actually, when I think of that kind of stuff, visually, it's disturbing, and you have to really press on that. And I thought they did that. They didn't really hold back on that. So I liked it. It's funny. I took the remake out of my Scream Factory box set, and I put the First Omen in that box set. So I fixed it.
Smart move. Smart move.
Yeah. So I liked it. Yeah.
So since I just have you, what is your number 4? Because we're on number 4 right now.
Lisa Frankenstein, which I heard some people. I was listening to a little bit of this. I agree with the people that talked about that. I just thought it was a really good comedy, and I love horror comedies. That's like my number one subgenre. I didn't see it in theaters. I just got it on Blu-ray, but loved it. The sound of it, the look of it. I just thought it was money.
I'm glad people are enjoying that on here because like I had a video where I was praising that movie and I got like so much hate for it in the comments and I was like, oh, people hate this movie, I guess. But no,
it's really comedy's subjective already, right? So I mean, it's tough. It's just really tough. Not more people than not are probably gonna not be into horror comedy stuff. So when it's done right, I think it works. I think it's nothing better than a horror comedy. But man, it's a really tough hill to climb making those.
Oh shit, we're on number 3. I apologize. Yeah. Okay, so Kristen, last one. What is your number 3?
Abigail. And I really thought I was gonna hate that. I'm not interested in kid movies. They annoy me a little bit. Like Megan was all right last year. I thought people were like, just watch it. I was like, okay. I thought it was okay, but Abigail kicked my ass. I love the cast. I didn't know that guy from The Guest was in it. That's an automatic 3 stars if he's in it. What's the guy's name? If he's in it, automatic 3 stars. Automatic.
It was Beast and Beauty and the Beast. That guy.
I never saw that, but
that's 3 stars as well.
No, Abigail.
4 stars for that thing.
Dude, I thought
54
it was
episodes of Downton Abbey, 3 stars.
3 stars. 3 stars. No, dude, I just thought it was kick ass and super energetic, and I love the cast of it. Who's that big dude who kind of played like the dummy, the big Canadian guy?
He's so funny. He's
I love
Juggernaut.
those. I love those kinds of characters.
Kevin Durant.
So Kevin Durant, yeah, dude. I just thought it was a good. I thought it was a good movie. Yeah. You know, and it's people kept telling me to see it, and I was just like, it's not for me. But it was for me, so I ate my words on that one. And if I'll admit it. If I have to eat my words on something, I will. So Abigail was great.
Ashley, your number 3.
My number 3 is Trap. I know not a lot of people like this movie, and it's like everything else is very controversial. I think Josh Hartnett.
Josh
Hartnett. He was amazing.
I'll just fucking show myself out.
Okay. Is Josh Hartnett going to take your place? I think he did so good, and I actually liked like the show. Like I think that they put a lot of time into like the choreography, and I know that wasn't like some people thought that was too much, but I liked all of that. He's a very lucky dude. There is a lot of plot holes, and everything had to go exactly his way for it to move on. So
everything's always going Josh Hartnett's way, though.
Yeah,
seriously.
Look at the haircut he got away with in Halloween H2O.
Still pretty much has it.
Yeah, for 40 days.
But he's still a good looking dude, so he's got something going for him. Yeah. But yeah, just the way he changed and just like his smile and like I don't know, he was phenomenal in it. So, and I really enjoyed it. Like I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, and I actually found myself like he's the bad guy. Obviously, that's not really a spoiler. Like that's in the trailer.
Yeah, you've seen the trailer.
Yeah, but yeah, I found myself like rooting for him almost, which is weird, right? So yeah, that's my number 3.
That's weird, right? As we got Michael Myers masks all over.
Yeah,
the place.
that's true.
I was rooting for him in moments too. I'm not gonna lie. You know?
Yeah.
You want to see what he does next,
right?
Yeah, for sure. Ken, what about you?
My number 3 is a European horror film that we got the screener for earlier this year. I don't know if it's available yet, but it's called The Moor. This murderer goes on a rampage, killing and kidnapping children. He goes to prison 25 years later. He's about to be let out of prison, and they're trying to find the kids' bodies out in the moor to try to put him back in and make sure he cannot get out and hurt anybody else because he only got one charge on one kid. Very atmospheric, very unsettling, very dark. And it goes in a direction at the end that I 100% did not expect it to go in.
I feel like you could go either way. Like we had two completely different interpretations of how,
the ending. It's one of those movies that we got it. We got the screener and we were like, whatever, we're not doing anything tonight. Let's just check this out. And when it was over, I was like, I want to go watch this again, knowing what I know now at the end and see what I pick up through the movie. It's one of those movies that when you get to the ending, you're like, I need to go back and rewatch this and try to catch up on things that I missed the first time that were right in my face. So number 3 for me is The Moor, and the acting's brilliant. I have very little bad to say about the movie. Anything bad I could say would spoil, and I do not want to do that to anybody. The Moor is a film you should absolutely go into 100% blind.
Is that
sounds great.
Streaming? Yeah, dude, you're a great salesman, man.
It's awesome. Like, it's awesome.
Is it out yet?
I don't know if it's out
yet.
I
don't think so, because I would have been on that. That's for damn sure. Holy
cow. It's so much fun.
Well, it's not fun.
I don't want to
come on, kids.
It's very dark and it's heavy.
It never gets light. I will say that.
I mean, if killing kids and putting them out in the backwoods is fun.
It only just found a distributor last month. So it premiered in Manchester, England, but it hasn't gotten overseas release yet. Watch The Moor on Prime Video. With your curiosity, nature holds a surprise. This looks like a documentary. That is not it.
No.
Do not watch on Amazon Prime, because this is plants that eat animals live here, and so do mushrooms. That's not the movie.
They're like, what the fuck? This isn't anything he said.
Yeah. So anybody, if you want, when we're done here, email me. And I'll shoot you the contact I have. Maybe we can get you guys to check that movie. I'll get a review out for it too, because they're really trying to push it hard.
Yeah.
So if you guys want it, please let me know, and I'll get you the information for who I got that from.
Yeah. As you guys know, The Coffee Table is in my honorable mention, so I'm kind of down in that dark type of movie. Yeah. So,
and like I said, this whole movie, like especially like once you get to the end,
it's not like gory and there's no jump scares. It's just like this constant feel of dread.
It reminded me a lot of The Dark and the Wicked. And anybody who knows me, that's one of my favorite horror films that come out in the last 10 years. Like, I absolutely adore The Dark and the Wicked. And it's like that. It's just anxiety and dread the whole time. No jump scares, no comedy. You're just like, can something please just fucking happen to break this tension? Please break the fucking tension. And it has to do with kids too, so you're like, are the kids okay? Where are the kids? What happened to the killer? Like, there's a lot of questions that you have as you're going through. So let me know, and I'll see if I can't help you guys out when we're done here.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you in advance. My number 3 is Late Night with the Devil. You guys have done great descriptions about the movie. I just love the aesthetic. I mean, literally everything about that movie was fantastic. Even the ending. And David just needs to be in more and more and more starring leading roles. He's just a fantastic actor. Just really quick, pop into the chat. Chase, what's going on? Davey,
what's up, Davey?
What's up?
Yeah, right there. Some awesomeness. And then some other people joining in, Mr. Smelly Potato, and what's going on in Love with Horror? What's up, guys? They actually just saw
AJ and Chrissy, how you doing?
Yeah. Okay, so my number 2. I'll start with.
I haven't said my 3, so.
I'm so sorry. I thought you did. I apologize.
I thought you were volunteering for 2.
My number 3 is Immaculate, which I'm kind of shocked by because it was my number 1 for a long time, so it's just gotten edged out. But I loved Immaculate. I technically saw the first Omen first, and when I saw that one, I was like, okay, that's good. And then I saw Immaculate, and I was like, this is the one that's much more for me. Because they both set up as very similar movies, but they both have a twist. And the first Omen's twist, I was kind of on. I felt like I'd seen it a lot of times. And I felt like it made like the lore of the original Omen kind of overly complicated in a way it didn't really need to be. But then Immaculate's twist was like so insane and so kind of blasphemous that I thought it was awesome. And I was like, this is like, I can't believe they went there. And that is so cool. And yeah, I love Sydney Sweeney's performance. I think she's one of the most sympathetic characters
I agree.
in movies this year. Yeah. By the way, Christian, it's good to meet you. I'm a little starstruck because I'm a big fan of your channel.
Then there's Kenny just butting in, son of a bitch.
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that.
Sure thing, man. But yeah, Immaculate, I loved it. It's my number one for a long time. I think it's great.
That is the movie where she's topless, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just because
No,
otherwise I
no.
sound like
No.
It's not, what am I thinking of?
Not
then?
topless,
She's
yeah.
been topless in other movies.
Euphoria.
You're
Yeah,
like, I've seen
Euphoria?
scenes of Sydney
Oh, see, that's what I gotta
Sweeney.
watch.
Oh, man.
He's
Yeah.
having an
She's
orgasm.
good at
And the-
Euphoria. She's
And
good.
the other film from the
Merry-go-round,
same
yeah.
director, it's called The Voyeurs. It's on Amazon Prime. She's topless a lot in that one.
The irony of it being called The
Yeah,
Warriors.
That's kind of like a Rear Window body double kind of rip off.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
check
sorry.
that one out,
You
Christian.
can
Go
see
watch that
through
before
her,
Immaculate.
her wet nightgown. Yeah, you can see through that.
Ah,
Yeah.
If you're
So,
into
so I'll start off with you, and Kristen. Yeah, you already did your number 3, right? That's what I want to make sure.
yeah, it was
Which
Abigail.
was Abigail. Okay, just want to make sure. Number 2, I'll
Did
start.
John do his number 3? I don't remember.
John,
No, I didn't do my number 3.
oh, I'm a terrible person.
Frank, what are you,
Terrible.
Frank, what are you doing?
Frank, you just got to keep it simple, buddy.
I know.
Around and do not change the order ever. That's how you do
Reverse
it.
snake.
Yeah.
That's what we always do. We just do one order. That way I
Okay.
don't.
All right. I'm just trying to make
I get it in
But I
the
still
beginning. Like
fuck
I
up.
try to be fancy.
Make everybody
too,
raise a
but-
hand, Frank,
yeah.
and then you just pick one. Put their hand down when they're done.
Me next, me.
Heads up, 7 up.
All right. So, John.
John Wawas with your number 3.
My number 3 is also Abigail. I thought that movie was great. I had a blast with it, and I didn't watch the trailer going in, so I was not expecting a vampire twist from that girl.
Nice.
I was waiting for
Mhm.
Melissa Beret to do something, and then I was like, oh wow, or Dan Stevens to do so. I mean, Dan Stevens plays a huge part in the movie, and he's one of the best parts of it. But the whole movie, it feels a lot like Ready or Not, and I love that about it. I did enjoy Scream 5 or 6. I love the way they light their movies. They're always like more warmly lit. They do it all the time. And Ready or Not, this felt very similar to it. You know, put them all in one place and let's see what happens. And even a similar ending to it. And I just really appreciated Abigail. Thought it was a blast. And it's always fun to have fun at watching a good horror movie sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So my reverse snake. Kristen, start with you. You're number 2.
Put a little bit more of a cha on that, Kristen, for me.
It sounds like
Kristen.
Kristen.
Kristen Cole.
Christian.
I don't know if anybody else
Christian.
watches House of Dragon.
I have to
We don't
force
like
in.
that guy.
I gotta go Late Night with the Devil. That's my kind of like. I'm a big found footage junkie, and I guess you call
Right.
that. I don't know if you call it found footage. It's kind
I
of like
would.
You know what I'm saying?
It's found footage adjacent.
adjacent.
It's very cinematic looking, though.
Well, I'll tell you
compared to
what.
many
I tell you
footage.
what I'm digging. Maybe it's just me. Like I'm kind of easy to please, but I feel like this like trying to look nostalgic and appear like you're a certain year has like gone up another level. It doesn't like Late Night with the Devil didn't feel like sensationalizing like a retro time. It actually felt pretty authentic as far as I could tell. I mean, I listened to a lot of Blue Oyster Cult, so I mean they definitely had the guy who was like the detractor to the magician and stuff. Like those clothes, those collars, man, they were like I just thought it felt really legit. And I love that David guy. I was reading about him in Fangoria. He's like a really big horror nut. And yeah, I thought he was great. I really liked the like I said, the guy who was like just calling bullshit on everything. I felt like he was the audience, like us that watch a bunch of horror movies that like this is fake, this is bullshit. I just really liked it. And I like that he had like his Andy Richter kind of guy, right? It was kind of like with the band.
Yeah.
I thought it was dynamite. I don't remember what everybody was bitching about. Something was AI or something. Wait, what was
some of the
AI in that
images-
movie?
There's like 2 scenes or 2 images or something in the entire movie.
Yeah, they're
Not
just
much.
like
Wasn't it like
movie
the
right
banner
back
they put up
images,
on
and
a
that's it.
poster or something? Wasn't it on the poster too?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I get it. I guess I can understand it. Like, yeah, we don't want that to happen, but I mean, give me a fucking break.
It was
It was also
Yeah.
very early in AI experimentation too.
Right.
Yeah.
So there wasn't as much conversation about it then.
And it's an
Yeah.
indie film when they're trying
See, I
to
think
save
people
real money.
forget
so
how
who
Yeah, very
cares?
low budget.
delayed that movie got. You know, it's not, you know, this movie got delayed so much. So like you said, it was at the very beginning when AI, we were just starting to
Yeah.
wiggle the toes in it. And like they were saying, the director, everybody came out and was like, we didn't take jobs away from anybody. You know,
Mhm.
the AI created it, it was molded, it was, you know, like people still got paid and people still had jobs on set for that. So
Yeah.
I can see both sides of the coin, honestly.
Yeah. Did y'all see this in the theater? Anybody?
I did.
Mm.
Dude,
Wish
I
I
did,
could.
man.
I
No.
saw it in the theater. I drove an hour to go see it. I begged my wife to go. I was like, I got a feeling about this one. She's like, nah. It was fucking awesome in the theater. I mean,
wish
it
we
was
could.
so
I'm
great.
sure it was great.
Mhm.
And then they played the trailer. I was the only guy in the theater. They played the trailer to In a Violent Nature. I was on my feet in the back of the theater watching the trailer. But no, I loved it, man. I thought it was dynamite, and I got that. I think I was the first person to. I know I beat mid-level on ordering that from Umbrella. I bet you I was in the first 5 people
No.
that ordered that shit when it popped up.
No,
So I'm
they told me
excited for
they
that.
told me about it before they announced it. So
Get the
Already
fuck
had it
outta
ordered.
here.
Ashley, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Lisa Frankenstein. I love this
Love it.
movie. The comedy landed for me. I love the costumes.
Can we talk about how Zelda Williams honored her dad at the end with the rainbow suspenders?
which was
with
awesome.
the Mork and Mindy
Yeah,
thing. Like
that
I
was
thought
nice.
That was so fucking cool,
Mhm.
man.
Catherine Nguyen. I have a girl crush on her. She's in my
Hell
top
yeah.
2 favorite movies of the year. I think she's amazing.
I've been trying to hook him up,
yeah,
see what can happen.
I mean, yeah. So we've talked about this a lot, but yeah, it was just so much fun, and I legitimately like laughed. Like it made me laugh.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. My number 2 is Abigail. Like I said, I loved it the first time we seen it, and then taking our daughters to see it the second
Mhm.
time and seeing how much our daughters genuinely loved watching this movie. That was special to us too. And it's like I said, it's a fun ride.
Mhm.
And the way that they could build onto this universe, they could do something really cool if they wanted to make this a standalone. Perfect. It's the perfect standalone. But if they wanted to build onto this universe, this is a universe you absolutely could build onto. So I had a lot of fun with Abigail. So that is my number 2 on the year.
Nice.
Better than both Scream movies that they did.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
I,
really
think
do
so
agree.
too.
Daniel, your number 2.
Well, I'm really thankful for Ken that he picked a European movie that's barely out, so I don't just look like the pretentious guy. But my number 2 is The Vordelak, which is
What
a
the
French...
fuck is
What?
that?
It's a French period piece folk horror vampire movie that is
I'm out.
based
Okay.
on it's based on a Russian novel called The Family of the Vordelak, and it predates Dracula. And basically what it's about is there's this marquis who is lost in the woods, and he comes across this family in their cottage and stays with them for a bit. And their father, who they believe to be dead, comes back, except now he is a Vordelak, which is basically a vampire, but it's specifically a vampire that only feeds on the blood of its family. And it's just like this
Very
very
specific.
beautiful period piece folk horror film, almost like Robert Eggers kind of thing. But the weird twist with it is the vampire is played by a puppet. So it is this really weird, uncanny valley,
This took a turn.
creepy thing that kind of takes the movie into like this fairy tale kind of level. And I loved it. I mean, I loved watching the movie, but it also like sparked an interest in me in like looking into like really old vampire folklore, which has been really fun. So I just loved it. I thought it was great.
That's forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I just found it
What?
online. That way we can
Oh,
watch it.
yeah, exactly. I actually made a Forgetting Sarah
When you
Marshall
said
joke. in
puppets,
my
I just-
for it.
In my mind, I saw Team America with a vampire.
It's not like
Yeah,
that. It's more like
yeah.
it's like a Return of the Living Dead zombie, like the zombie on the table in Return of the Living Dead. It's a lot like that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
dude, I'm stoked to watch this.
Ken, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Night Swim.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Underrated.
God, and this guy hates Bubba Hotep, by the way.
I do.
Wait, what was his
No, my
number?
my
No, he's
I
joking.
was
He's joking.
No, I'm serious.
Oh.
Immaculate is my number 2. Immaculate. I enjoyed Immaculate, and also, like Daniel said, well, did you say you saw First Omen first or second?
First Omen was first, yeah, because I saw Immaculate.
No, I
at
saw
home.
Immaculate first. Yeah, I mean, it's felt like it had a vision, whereas the First Omen felt a little bit more studio driven with some of its decisions. I like the turns and twists that it took throughout. Sydney Sweeney was great, and the director actually watches my channel, so that kind of puts him over the top for me as well. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice little plug. There you go,
Mm.
Michael.
Hey, what was that, Kenny? You dropped
Mahoen?
that name there. Here you go.
Michael Mohan. Yeah. So that's great. But no, I really like the movie a lot. Really like the movie. So yeah, that's my number 2.
I think he really wanted to say Night Swim, but he was kind of gauging y'all's reaction to it.
How do we feel about it?
I'm just playing, guys. I'm just playing. John, what's your number 2?
Michelle was ready to pull it into the frame, and he was like,
Get out of here. My number 2 is you guys already all brought it up, but Late Night with the Devil. I really love that movie. I like movies. I like period piece movies, like 70s and 80s, and I think that movie really actually captured the 70s feel, that 70s talk show feel, and actually showing what goes on between the commercial breaks. And no one brought up the girl yet, but that girl freaked me the hell out.
She was good.
Yeah, and then what they do with the effects with her and everything, I thought all that stuff was just well done. And yeah, it's funny. I think who said it? Was it you, David, who said that? You, Daniel? I'm sorry that it kind of felt like 2001 at the end. That was kind of my first thought as well. But I kind of like that, so it kind of worked for me in a way. And I just really enjoyed just how they're changing the aspect ratios and the the color timing, black and white to this. Like they really nailed that aspect, and I loved it for it. And David, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, Danakovich. I'll
Just
never
say
get it right.
it's Des Smolchin, but just say it fast. Nobody knows the difference.
Des Mulchin, David Des Mulchin. I'll never get it, but
just blurt it out real fast, and they get what you're saying.
Just like
Yeah, Kenny,
David's
nobody
Mulchin.
corrects pronunciation in comments, right?
No,
David's
you won't get some asshole in the comment section.
oh my god,
Sound it out. Yeah.
It's I try, I do my best, but yeah, no, he was phenomenal, and it's nice to see him in a leading role, and kind of flesh him out. He always plays the creepy guy and everything, and he was a little creepy, but he had more of a fleshed out character this time. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
My number 2 is Longlegs. Again, I think maybe it boosts up a little bit because again, it takes place here in Oregon. So I was kind of just doing a little that. But Nicolas Cage's performance is very memorable. And I really liked the storyline. I thought it was just a great film. And yeah, Monroe, I mean, she's good in basically there's another movie that it's her and Bill Skarsgård. I gotta see. It came out in 2019.
We just watched that Watchers movie the other night too. That was a pretty good movie.
Yeah. Did you notice, Ashley? For the people who've seen Trap, did you see that little plug for the Watchers in that movie? There was like a little billboard or something like that. It's like the Watchers.
I must have missed that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a different Watchers than the Micah Monroe.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Micah Monroe Watchers.
Oh.
Okay.
Not
the one that
Shyamalan's daughters.
Oh, okay.
Movie. I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
He's got all of his daughters in there somehow.
Yeah.
Good for him. He's a good dad.
Yeah,
I'd do
he
the
is
same
a good
thing.
dad.
John, what is your number 1?
My number 1. I wasn't expecting to go first. My number 1 is, I don't know why I drew a blank real quick for some odd reason. Number 1 is Maxine. I love this entire trilogy. I think they stuck the landing on it. I hear what you guys are all saying about the ending, but it didn't really bother me. I kind of felt like something like that was coming from the very beginning, and so I was kind of not that surprised. But I love the 80s tone of this movie. I love how it flips the script on what happened in Pearl, Maya Goth's character in that movie. She had an audition in that didn't really go her way, but she had a much better audition in this movie. And then the Psycho 2 callback in that movie, because a lot of people know in the horror community, Psycho 2 is a great movie, but
yes, it is.
It's a phenomenal one. And then this movie I love Maya Goth. I love how she acts. I think she's nailed these characters in the entire Ty West trilogy, playing multiple characters. She captures the tone of the character perfect. And, just all the callbacks to all the 80s stuff. And Giancarlo Esposito, whatever the hell he was wearing in this movie, I love the second about it. Those freaking tracksuits, man.
Dynamite.
Kenny, what's your number one?
Man, I just watched this one over the weekend. I was not expecting it to be my number one, but I really loved In a Violent Nature.
Yes.
A lot.
This makes me so happy, man.
I thought it was so cool. We get good slashers now, but I feel like this one did something truly different with it. Same setup, same premise, same story, but you never got it from this vantage point and in this very specific way. So I dug the hell out of this whole movie, and I loved the ending. I loved the way it ended because you were expecting one thing to happen, and they play on your expectations from like 50 other these type of movies that you've watched before, and then they do something completely different. So
the last 10 minutes is all I liked of that movie.
I thought it was fantastic. That put the cherry on top, but I enjoyed the whole movie. I mean, it's just a cool slasher with some cool kills and stuff, but I actually thought they gave, what's the killer's name again? Johnny.
Johnny.
A lot of depth to his character. I felt like probably more so than you get out of a Friday the 13th film. There were a lot of little moments with him throughout that I thought did a good job fleshing out his character. And just visually, it was fantastic. I mean, there were certain moments where it really felt like a video game. And I've never watched a movie where they just perfectly blended those two elements together. Like when he's walking up on that house in the beginning and you can hear the people talking in the distance, and then you start to hear them a little bit better as you get closer and closer. I just thought everything about it was really cool, how they put it together. And I really loved it. I've just been thinking about it ever since I watched it. So that's my number one.
Have you heard if there's going to be an umbrella box for that one?
Man, they're promoting that all over their Instagram, so there has.
I would
to be.
assume so.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
They did the thing for Late Night with the Devil before they announced that, so I would assume so. But it's got a Blu-ray announced already.
Yeah, in October.
Yeah.
Daniel, what's your number one?
My number one is pretty easily Long Legs. Man, I just absolutely loved Long Legs, which was surprising to me because I love so many horror subgenres, but I'm not that big a fan of serial killer movies, and I'm not very interested in serial killers unless it's like a slasher. But there are very few serial killer movies I care much about. But I loved this one because I loved its satanic twist. I thought that was so cool. I thought it was so much cooler than a typical serial killer thing. I love The Black Coat's Daughter, Oz Perkins' second movie. And I thought this goes so well hand in hand with Black Coat's Daughter. Like they felt so closely connected, which I thought was awesome. Loved all the performances like Micah Monroe. Big fan of Nick Cage. Like I think Kenny, you said, I didn't know what he looked like going in. So when there's that opening shot where you just briefly see him from here on down, like I was like jerked back in my chair, like, whoa, what is that? Like it looked creepy. And for all the talk about how, it's the scariest movie of the year, and a lot of people think that's superlative, blah, blah, blah. I didn't think it was that scary, but it is the closest to scary that I've seen this year. Like it's definitely the movie that's creeped me out the most. So I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I was really, really hyped on it.
Cheers.
Yeah. Ken, what's your number one? Oh, sorry, Ashley. Yep.
My number one is Abigail. I love this movie so much. We went and seen it twice in a weekend. Like Ken said, we took our girls the second time. My daughter literally wants to dress like Abigail for Halloween this year. Like I'm going to make that happen. And I think that the cast was amazing. The little girl that played Abigail, Alicia Weir, I thought she did fantastic. It was funny. I love the over-the-top gore. It just everything that I'm looking for in a horror comedy. It was amazing. So that's my number one.
And I told you I was going to be in the minority. Trap. Number one.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Shyamalan.
Love it.
Really?
I respect
So
it.
much. So much. And I have people attacking me for it, like, "Oh, you like it because it's Shyamalan." Dude, I hate Old. I thought Glass was ass.
Glass was ass.
There's so many
I like
different
Glass.
Shyamalan movies that I
I
think
like
are
Old.
absolute. Yeah.
Hit or miss for me.
The Happening was complete trash.
It's funny.
Oh, I love The Happening.
I like that.
It's fun to watch.
Well, let me ask you, Ken. Let me ask you this, Sledge Ken. Do you like The Village?
I do.
I do too, but I feel like I tell people, I was like, "What's not to like? It has the greatest cast on the planet."
Yeah.
Like, what are you
It does.
talking about? Like,
Judy
why do
Greer's in
people hate
you know,
it?
like, there's
I
so
like it
many-
okay now, but like when you were there watching that movie in the
That
theaters
first
back
time
in
I
you
was
2004,
there in the
like,
theater. What are you talking
That
about? I
twist
was
was
there.
so stupid that day.
well,
What are you talking about? That shit's. I guarantee you, that kind of shit is going on in the world right now. People are gonna start. People are gonna start
it's
doing
cool.
that.
Like it's cool
I
now.
would
Once
do
once
that.
I think about it years after, but like in the moment, I'm like, man, I want those monsters to be real.
But see, it's a metaphor. Ken, the monsters are real. They're outside of the
I give a
comedy.
We
fuck
are
about
the
a
monsters.
metaphor.
We
I was
are the
like
monsters.
18 or 19 when I watched that
We're
movie.
the monsters.
You're not old when you saw it. Yeah, you're 18.
Well, and that on top of Signs is like in my top 20 movies of all time. I
Yeah,
love
Signs
that
is
movie.
scary.
And
so good. I
that
love
was the
Signs.
follow up
Sense,
to Signs. And
Unbreakable.
my expectations were so
um,
high. I love Sixth Sense,
He
Unbreakable.
started 3 for 3. Village
Yeah, he was on a
When we were-
roll.
got a little
When we
shaky
were
for
in
me.
the theater for Split, and it got to the end with Bruce Willis going, "Mr. Glass," I literally was like, "Oh my god, no
Yeah,
way!"
that
And
was
everybody
so
around me was
cool.
like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Listen, you
Mhm.
uncultured swines, go home and watch them right
Even
now."
before that, they
It was
started
really
playing the
cool.
music. They started playing the same score to
Yes.
Unbreakable. Like if you could pick up on that, yeah, it was
Unbreakable's
amazing.
such a good movie.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, like with Trap, I went into this with high expectations because I love Josh Hartnett. I do like Shyamalan overall. And I love the dynamic of the father. And as a very, very proud girl dad, how he will do literally anything to make his daughter happy.
He's not proud of his son,
And
clearly.
yeah, fuck. Okay, good. But
Sorry,
you know, and
Kenny, if you're
even at
watching
the
this.
end, you know, and again, I don't want to spoil anything, especially because this movie is so fresh. But when the daughter comes back into the picture at the end and the heartbreak and everything that's going on there, I thought it was just awesome. And I love that Shyamalan's doing this thing now where he doesn't have to rely on a twist. He put the twist in the trailer for this movie. Knock at the Cabin. There was really no twist to that movie, just a straightforward thriller. I would hate to be somebody whose whole career was built on you're known for this. Your movie better have a twist. And I like the fact that he's now coming out going, you know what? The twist is the fact that I gave it to you in the trailer and you still talked about you thought there was going to be a twist to it. I really respected that about this movie. And Josh Hartnett's performance is one of the best performances I've seen all year, hands down, bar none. The way that he can go from laughing with that dude to just being so serious about it. And I genuinely laughed a lot throughout this movie, like for like real belly, and even the post-credit scene, like had
That
me
was
laughing.
hysterical.
Yeah.
I love Jamie.
So fun. I'm never talking to anybody at work again.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought that shit was funny, and I just really, really enjoyed this movie. And I feel like I'm on an island. I know other people enjoyed it, but this is
Nobody likes it that much.
I know, like
They don't.
I'm the only I told you guys at the beginning I was going to be in the minority on this.
Yeah.
I loved this movie to the point where I'm genuinely excited to watch this movie again.
Mhm.
So
I feel like I'll probably like it. I'm a pretty big Shyamalan apologist. I like Lady in the Water.
Do you guys?
I
Yeah.
love Lady in the
Oh,
Water.
yeah, that's a
Great.
fun one too. Do you
Do
guys
you like
feel
The Last
M. Night's like-
Airbender?
You know what? When I watched that, I was like, this isn't the worst movie ever made.
Mhm.
That's what a lot of people said it is. So it's not great.
I
I don't
feel like
really
M.
know
Night's
The
like
Last
our
Airbender,
modern day Hitchcock in a way. He puts out like a movie almost every year, like almost. A
Yeah.
I
trailer
think
every
I
single
think
year.
After Earth is the worst thing he's ever done.
that
Like,
was
that
bad.
movie
Oh,
was garbage.
Will Smith, yeah.
Complete garbage.
I still say Old. I was so pissed leaving the theater for Old.
I
Like,
know.
I was
Old
looking
is
at
like
it.
old is like a modern day happening.
I like
I
the old
liked-
so much.
I
It's so
liked
fun.
the
Old.
dialogue, and that was so
Hated it.
Ah,
yeah.
I enjoyed
What's your
it.
occupation?
I don't know that reference. I'm sorry.
That's from old. That's
from
what
Old.
It says that to
Yeah,
everybody.
I
in that
thought
movie.
old.
I forget about movies like 2 seconds after I watch them.
I thought Old was so bad that if I actually saw M. Night right after that movie came out, I swear to God, I would have walked up to him and said, "Is that the best you can do?" Like I would have said it straight to his face. That's how
The
much I
ending
hated
kind
that.
of ruins it, but it's a good premise. Like I love that
You know,
premise.
the thing about M. Night, man, it's like he's put out his appetite for destruction already. So it's like no matter how bad his movies can get, people will it's like he's made platinum.
respect
He's
him for
made
doing
multi-platinum
original stuff.
records, so he'll continue.
Yeah.
People will give his shot at stuff.
and every once in a
every
while
time.
he'll put something decent out too. Like
Yeah,
he'll
like
give
Trap.
us Trap. But like even Knock at the Cabin was good. Split was good. Glass.
Mhm.
I like the
The
visit.
visit. The visit.
I like the visit.
The Visit,
Yeah,
I like
it's
that one.
The
That was the
Visit doesn't
comeback
get
after
the
After
same-
Earth.
Like
The
the
Visit's
first
great the
time
first time you watch
after you
it.
watch it.
When you watch it a second time, you're
It's-
like,
it don't
Paul
hit-
suffers
okay.
from incontinence.
I love
Those
that.
dirty
Yeah.
diapers.
I
Yeah.
almost
The
like,
poopy
see
diaper.
what people don't know. People know Sledgehammer horror, but a lot of people what they don't know about Ken Sledge is Ken Sledge is a fucking germaphobe. Ken
I
Sledge,
don't think you have to be a germaphobe to not want
yeah,
shit in your
but Ken
face.
Sledge doesn't go swimming in pools because, like, when you go swimming in pools, pretty much like, hey, why don't you just piss on my face and then dump chlorine on it? Like, it's the same damn thing.
We can make that
I
up.
take silverware with me when I go to a restaurant because I don't know what other meth mouth has ate off this fork that I'm about to put in my face.
Oh my God.
So, like,
I'm that guy. I'm the guy who ate that.
yeah.
Damn,
So
yeah.
when you see him get that diaper and put it in the kid's face, I was like, I would literally just killed myself. I would have killed myself at that moment.
There's no
I want to
reason to live
screen
after that.
capture that.
I can
It's
picture
fucking
you
gnarly, bro.
screaming like in a high pitched voice.
That is a
No.
nasty ass scene.
No freaking sanitizer in the world.
No,
It's
that's
not
it. Like I
enough.
said, like people be like, hey, come swimming in my house. I'm like, hey, go fuck yourself.
Oh my god.
Christian, what is your number one?
It's Long Legs. I'll
Nice.
tell you what. I about 4 or 5 months ago, I'm done with trailers. I'm not watching trailers at all anymore. I'm done. Refuse. When I read magazines from like Room Org or Fangoria, I'll look at pictures and little interviews with the directors and stuff when they come out. Then I'll decide if I'm interested in it. But like, I didn't know anything. I didn't even know Michael Monroe was in it. That's how little I paid attention. I just knew
Mhm.
Nick Cage was in it. So I loved it. I really loved it. I like how the whole movie, you can't really drop your shoulders and relax because the whole movie, it feels like shit's about to hit the fan. So I loved it. And I never realized that was Psycho's kid directing it either. Like
I knew who he was, and I
Miles
didn't know that
Perkins,
either.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought it was fucking awesome. And I can't be the only person that thinks that was like a demonic Tiny Tim that he was playing.
Oh,
'Cause, like,
absolutely.
I loved it. I just thought it was awesome. So that's my favorite movie of the
I
year so
do-
far.
I-
There's
I
one
do wanna
movie that
say-
could beat it this year. One movie. And it's gonna be Nosferatu, and I got faith in Robert.
Yeah.
That movie.
But here's the thing:
I thought you were
all
going to
you
say Smile too.
jackasses who didn't go to see Renfield or Last Voyage, don't let this be the third Dracula movie to bomb, you rat bastards. Get your asses to the theater, please. I cannot have a third strike on a Dracula
People
film.
will see this one because it's Robert Eggers. I hope.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, I love Last Voyage. Dude, Last Voyage, I love it. Nobody went. Nobody went to the
I didn't
theater.
go, Christian.
went.
I didn't go.
I love it. Yeah, that was good.
I didn't buy
It's
the
playing on
Blu-ray either,
Christmas
Christian.
Day.
I love
Christian.
Dracula.
Christian, I didn't buy the Blu-ray either.
I don't give a
I didn't buy the Blu-ray.
I do want to say though, if you guys like Mike
There's a
Monroe,
4K coming.
she was in an indie film a couple years ago called Flashback. Check that movie out. Like it is so damn good. Like it's a total. It's like a Donnie Darko type movie. Like it's a total mind fuck, and it's so good, and she's so great in it.
Okay, cool. I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
you mentioned that in the live stream.
yeah, it's
last
so
week.
dope, man. Like you guys got to check out. We stumbled upon it like a month ago, and I still haven't stopped thinking about that movie since we watched it.
My number one is The Oddity. This is the movie that I
damn.
saw it back to back. It was fucking so good, man. It's by Damien McCarthy, the same director who did Caveat, and it's just eerie, man. Creepy. I don't like clowns, and I don't like creepy ass wooden dolls figures, and there are some great scenes in it, and it's just it's to me like number one, man.
Frank,
See,
do you
and-
like the fear? If you
Fear,
don't, like,
I need to see
95.
that. I need to see
95.
that, man.
it's like the
Fear.
craziest thing ever. It's so fun.
Yeah, I know of that movie. I just haven't seen it.
Are we still doing our 5 least favorites?
We can just do because it's little.
I do
it's
not
an hour and
have
a half
five
into
least
it. So we
favorites.
can
Okay,
do like
I had one.
Do you care? Because I
Anyways,
have to be
everything.
up in 3.5 hours for work. Is
Oh,
it cool if
wow.
we do our 5 real quick?
God.
No, you can do like one. You can just do one. Don't.
No,
I'm
let,
just-
no, 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 no,
Might as
no.
well- might as well
Let him
just
go,
say.
dude. Let him go. Let him say
Let
everything.
him
he doesn't
cook.
like.
Let him
Let
cook.
him cook. Let him cook.
So,
Scorch Earth.
Number 5 is going to be Frozen Empire.
What,
Did not like it whatsoever.
dude?
Christian's regretting letting me cook.
Come on, dude.
Number 4 is a foreign film called Property. Very good premise. Did not like the execution of it.
I agree.
Number 3 is Tarot. The only reason this isn't lower is our 12-year-old loved this
Yeah.
movie, and seeing it from her point of view, somebody that hasn't seen all these tropes done over and over again, she was like, Dad, that was scary and that was great. So I understood where she was coming from because, like I said, she hasn't been submersed in these, oh, there's something there. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Like, she hasn't seen that 1,000 times. So it really hit different for my daughter. Number 2 is probably the best movie that's been made in the last 5 years. I just personally didn't like it. It's I Saw the TV Glow. I feel like that movie is so well made. It's beautiful. The acting's phenomenal. It just didn't land for me. And number 1 is In a Violent Nature. I was so disappointed with this movie. Again, I wanted to like it. And it's funny because I loved some of the kills in it. The yoga kill was great. The boulder kill was great. And I can't even recommend it to my friends because I'm like, hey, watch this 2-hour piece of shit for 2 minutes.
Oh my god.
It's only an hour and a half.
Didn't feel like
He
that.
added 30 minutes
Yeah,
of his
it's an
life
hour
that he
and a
won't
half.
get back
No,
after.
I added an hour because we had to drive 45 minutes one way to go watch it. And the whole way home, Ashley was like, yeah, thanks for that. I got to work tonight, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You wasted my day.
I got a good nap though.
But I mean, as much as I didn't like that movie, I'm still very excited for what they could do with part 2. I think that there's a lot of great ways this could go. It just, like I said, I love the fact they took a shot. I love the fact there's an audience for it. I would never hope that something failed. If someone's making art, I really hope there's an audience for it. Even if it's not me, I hope people love it. Remember that, people. I love Trap. Stop being mean to me. So even if I'm not the audience, I really hope that there is. And this movie has that audience. That's great. The last 10 minutes, I was literally on the edge of my seat, like, what the fuck's going to happen? Where are we going to go with this? See what I mean? What did I just say, Patrick? What did I just say? Yeah, the last 10 minutes, I'm holding on to the bottom of my seat, like, here we go. Where the fuck are we going? What's going to happen?
Nothing.
And I do think it was awesome that they actually brought in the lady from Friday the 13th Part 2 to be the driver at that moment. Like, that was a really cool nod, too. Like, all the Friday the 13th references to end with her being the person driving the car. I was like, that's actually dope.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, I was just like, I felt like somebody said it earlier. I felt like I was watching somebody play a video game. I'm like, I don't want to watch you play a video game. I want to play a video game. I don't want to watch you do it. I want to do it. And I was like, turn left. No, he's still going straight. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a branch breaking. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah. Oh, there's leaves. Yeah. Yeah, I hear him in the leaves. That's cool. And then you meet the characters and you're like, oh God, fucking kill him, Johnny. Johnny, fucking kill these people. So anytime I hear a character in any movie say the word cancel, I'm like, just kill that person. Kill him. Get rid of them. I'm tired of hearing their voice already. Just do it. Get rid of them.
I love this, Kenny, by the way. This is awesome.
And I thought the best part of the movie, besides the end, is when you kind of see the human part of Johnny when he gets the keys in the car.
That was a good
And
scene.
the little kid
that's what I was talking about
takes his
earlier.
mask off. Like that to me, that whole moment, I was like, oh, that's actually
Or what he does at the end, like pretty much the last kill.
Yeah. Oh my
that
gosh. I was winded after that.
I
last
couldn't
clip.
stop laughing. I was like, it's never gonna stop.
You know what it reminded me of?
I just
It
picture him doing that
reminded
the
me
entire
of
time.
Friday the 13th Part 3, when Jason's got the machete up in the barn with that last
Yeah.
guy before he gets hanged. Like that's what it reminded me of. I was like, yeah, he's dead, bro. He's gone.
Yeah, he was freaking out.
He killed him in the next life. Like he came back reincarnated, dead, ready for Part 3. But again, there are high points to the movie, but there just was not enough of them.
Yeah, I just felt like they brought in all the tropes and they made all the characters, you know,
A lot
like
of
they
people,
were back in those 80s slashers, but they were giving you it was the different vantage point. Like they were making
Yeah.
everything the same, but it was the
Part of
different
me
point of
almost
view
felt
and
insulted
style.
I
they
felt
were
like it
making
was
fun of like people
that were like
love
elevated
slashers.
horror.
Yeah.
We're making fun of people that like slashers. Like, hey, we're gonna do this dumb
Yeah, I
shit.
didn't
and
feel
I
that
don't
way.
think so.
You're gonna like
I'm a
it.
huge
Because of the
slasher
kills.
guy, and
They
You're
obviously, I feel like they love
It's got good
slashers.
kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did love the kills. Like
There
I said,
was
the
good
kills were
kills,
so good.
And that's exactly what a slasher lover would say.
And like I said, there were
like,
moments that made me laugh, like when he went under the water, and I was just like, "That's hilarious."
yeah.
I thought that
Like,
was the
I
most suspenseful scene of the
That was
fucking
cool.
movie.
I wish
I
they
do
would've
think
showed
it's
us
funny how
one
some
shot of him
people.
under the water still walking. Like that to me would have
With,
been the
like,
funniest shit. Like you,
like a thing in his
yeah, just like even
one
from
of those,
behind,
like-
like you had the wood shots. If you had one shot of him underwater like that, like
That
would've-
shot, but dude, meet me halfway. When they got that shot where you can see that little deck and then the background with the trees, I was like, holy shit, this is gorgeous. I want like a painting of what I'm seeing right here. It was so beautiful. I don't know where did they shoot that? Canada or somewhere?
The cinematography of that movie
think
was
so.
fantastic.
I think it was
See,
Australia.
y'all are talking. Y'all got it backwards. Like I don't need Late Night with the Devil in 4K. To me, that's a little oxymoronic. I need this movie in 4K because it's all
Yeah,
outside.
really
That'd be really good.
That would be
You
a
know?
4K. A beautiful
Yeah.
4K.
See, for me, 4K, like there's movies I hate. Like we still have movies that we watch, like Alien. I will only watch that on VHS. I don't even like watching that in Blu-ray. I like that dark and grainy.
You
know, there's
gotta
certain
watch that
films
on
I love
4K,
to
buddy.
watch dark and
Alien's a
grainy.
good
He
4K.
don't want it.
You
He
miss.
said he don't
some
want it,
stuff,
Ken.
buddy.
He don't want
you
it.
Got to. Oh my god, it'll change your
Yeah.
life.
I
Change
like
your life,
them
Ken.
like that, man. I like them dark
It's
and
life
grainy.
changing.
And,
Alien on 4K, Jaws on 4K. These things, yeah.
What is your most disappointing?
in a violent.
Or do
nature.
you have it? Or if you have a top 5, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. Tarot. I felt like I've seen it a million times, just done better. Night Swim. I was very.
Kenny's like,
I
no.
was highly disappointed in
What?
that.
He
Like,
does
I-
like
Violent
it.
nature now, Night Swim.
I
He
know.
does like it.
With water, stuff like that, like I feel like that the anxiety of being under the water and stuff, it could have been way better than it was. You'll Never Find Me. I don't even remember anything about it.
Oh,
So
that one. Yeah, that's on
Yeah,
Shudder.
so-
I just saw that.
I didn't even know that
I don't
existed.
remember
now.
anything.
The two of them
Probably
in the
never
trailer.
will.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of like monologue and like there wasn't.
Their monologues were good.
The
but-
monologue was good, but yeah. I saw the TV Glow again. It was weird as hell, and like I honestly I don't even know what was going on half
This
the
is-
time.
When I say this, I'm not being facetious. I'm being honest. This is the best movie that's ever been made.
The
that we didn't
cinematography
like.
is really
The
great.
movie it's just so well made and
Yeah,
beautifully
I gotta
shot.
watch
The
it.
acting is phenomenal.
it's very just like depressing.
Yeah,
Like
I
like,
couldn't
you
get
feel
into
depressed the entire time you're watching
it. Yeah,
it.
it's more of like a coming of age horror film.
Yeah.
Oh, for
But,
sure.
like,
Yeah.
I wanted to like it so bad, but I just couldn't. But like I said, I don't want to take away from the movie
I don't
because it's so well made and such a great movie. It's like Starbucks. Like I don't care how many times I drink it, it still tastes like shit. No matter how much I want to like it, I can't. It's just if it tastes like poop, I can't drink it.
It's just like a slow burn, and you think like it's gonna go somewhere, and then it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
In a violent nature, I literally was bored to tears. Like I was falling asleep. I don't know. I guess the lack of like score and
there's really no tension throughout the first two acts.
Yeah, because I mean you're following the killer, and call me a dumb slasher lover. I don't care. Maybe that's why, but I just
whatever, dumb slasher lover.
I know I am a dumb. I wasn't into it at all.
You'll
So,
come around. You'll come around.
I am excited.
Okay,
I told her I was like, I'm excited for part 2. She was like, get out of the fucking
Oh, I
house.
can't wait for part 2. There's going to be even less dialogue in 2.
Yeah,
More
probably.
nature sense.
See, I kind of feel like that
Rushing
movie
around
works
in
as a
the street.
standalone. I don't know.
That's what
don't
I
know if
said,
we-
Ken, but
I don't know if we
nowadays-
need a second one.
We
No, we
don't.
I feel like they'll be tempted to go more in that traditional routes if they do a
See, I think no matter what they do in part 2, people are going to be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Because if you do the same thing, they're going to be like, oh, they're just retreading the same thing. And then if they go the other route, they're going to be, oh, they just wanted to go the traditional slasher route now. They gave up on what they started. So they're in a lose-lose situation with the sequel.
I do think it's interesting how some people are interpret it as more of a satirical comedy, and some people interpret it as a really serious.
I took it as a satirical comedy. Like
take on a slasher.
I felt like they were like, yeah,
I saw no satire in it at all. Or
really?
comedy.
Yeah.
See, that's actually why my only criticism was I didn't like the over the top kills because it was so serious. Like it turned into Hatchet, which people like, but I would have gone way simpler because that's the way I felt it was very serious.
Yeah.
What about that really slow kill towards the end with
that messed me up
thing?
The wood machine, that was okay. That was cool.
Yeah.
That part, that's it. My brother got his hand stuck in a log splitter when we were younger.
Oh my god.
And I watched, this was what 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and I watched my brother's hand.
Ashley's like, I don't fucking know.
When Jake got his hand stuck in
Don't you remember?
Like, his hand was in between a log and he was trying to move it while he was pushing it down, and the log came down on his hand. And I watched all the blood vessels pop out the dude. I was like, he was like, "Oh, go give me some tape." I was like, "Some fucking tape."
I just thought of
ACW.
Dewey Cox, Walk Hard.
Damn.
My brother in there.
The
bad case. It's a bad case of being cut in half.
I was like, I didn't realize how easy it was to cut yourself in half, Dewey. I'm sorry. Dude, I got to be up in like 3 hours and 12 minutes. But you guys, Frank, thank you for having us on.
Yeah,
John,
thank you,
Kenny,
guys.
Nice seeing you again. Christian, nice meeting you.
See you guys.
Daniel,
take care.
Nice meeting you guys. I hope you guys all have a safe night.
You too. Take it easy, brother.
Thank you, guys.
See you.
John, what is your most disappointing?
So I thought the worst horror movie of the year, and I saw it coming from a mile away when I saw that trailer and saw it coming out in January, and that was Night Swim. Movie about a killer swimming pool. You know,
I like John. I like John.
You think it's gonna be bad,
John's
and then
on my
it
good
still
side.
is as bad as it's gonna be. But I know I'm gonna let you guys down. I feel bad saying this one because my biggest disappointment of the year was Immaculate. I didn't like it really that much until the third act when Sydney Sweeney got to like really shine and they went for it. Then I was into it. That's why I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. I was a little bit let down by it. I watched that and the First Omen back to back, and I enjoyed the First Omen more. But I would have to say Sydney Sweeney, man, she's a star. She was amazing in that movie, and you like I don't know who said it, but just see it for her at least, and her amazing performance.
Kenny, your most disappointing.
Most disappointing. Maxine. But that's pretty much how this whole trilogy has kind of been for me. I was really hyped up to see X, was disappointed. I liked Pearl, but I kind of hyped myself back up to see Maxine just because I thought, in the 80s, kind of had more of a film noir, giallo type style to it. And I was just expecting to like it a little bit more. And I might like it on a rewatch. I'll go back and rewatch it. I didn't dislike the movie. It was just kind of disappointing. I think I built it up in my mind to be one thing, and it turned out to be something different.
Oh, I'd love to know what was in your mind.
I just
Better.
a better movie. I just thought with the themes that they were building up through this trilogy, they didn't quite go all the way with it. I would have went a different direction. I don't want to spoil it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Daniel, your most disappointing.
My most disappointing is easily Maxine, which I seem to have one of the most dramatic opinions about because I think it's pretty darn bad, which I didn't want to be mean about, but then Ken scorched earth about In a Violent Nature, so I feel like all bets are off.
Do it.
It's a movie that is so unsatisfying and unsuccessful as a horror movie that I keep hearing people come up with all of these different kinds of movies that it secretly actually is. So people will say, well, it's not a horror movie, it's a crime thriller. And I think if that's the case, then the third act is even worse because, like, holy cow, what a disastrous third act for a crime thriller.
You watched
let him go. Let him go, Ken. Let him go.
I wanted to ask this one question. I'll forget because I'm old. You watched Hardcore this year, right? Did you see the similarities there? Did you pick up on any of the?
I mean, they both involve the adult film industry.
Yeah,
that's about it.
See, I got some comparisons.
Hardcore is a great movie, though.
But like, imagine if Hardcore ends the way Maxine ends. Like,
see, I watched it from
good Lord, how bad would
so
that
Hardcore
be?
is from the father's perspective, whereas, again, not trying to spoil, but Maxine is more from the daughter's perspective.
It's a good
So I
way
thought
to
it was
put
interesting
Okay.
how they kind of paralleled each other there.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, what else I was going to say is people say, well, it's not a horror movie. It's a rise to stardom, A Star is Born type movie. And I say,
That's
well,
super fucking specific.
I've heard people say that. And I think like, well, that doesn't work for me because I don't care if Maxine becomes famous. I don't think the movie gives me any reason to care about that. She's like just a selfish character and she's not even really an artist. All she talks about is I just want to
She's
be
a
famous.
super unlikable character.
Yes.
I didn't
I like,
realize how unlikable she was.
I'm not
A
going to
little
say I
bit,
like
though.
Pearl more, but I think Pearl is the much more interesting character. Because even if you look at X,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if I can really say Maxine is the main character. She's just the one that survives. But like, I'm more interested in almost everyone else in that movie. Brittany Snow in particular. I love Brittany Snow in that movie. But then the one that drives me the most crazy is people say it's a giallo, which I mean, for one thing, I'm kind of annoyed that people just call everything a giallo now. It seems to be like such a
see the
trend.
blood.
It's used to describe any Italian horror movie as well.
If you see a knife go up
Yeah.
like this,
For sure.
Yeah.
then it's a
They
giallo.
don't
I just
realize
think-
that you can just take shots from certain movies. It doesn't make it a giallo film. It means they were
Yeah.
homage.
I
Yeah.
think if
And
Ty West was trying to make it a giallo, I just don't think he gets it. I don't think he
No,
gets
well,
giallo.
he said he loved the movie Vice Squad, which when I heard him say that, that went
I
click
love Vice
in my head.
Squad.
I can see
Squad
I
is
can
good.
see the tone that he was going for a little bit with Vice Squad, which I love.
Dude, Wings
Vice Squad's
Hauser
coming
in
out in
that movie?
4K. I can't wait.
Oh
I
yeah,
love Vice
Kino's
Squad.
releasing that on 4K.
That'll look
look,
beautiful in 4K.
I hear you though. Like I can totally see why people that were fans of X or Pearl, this is like this because those two to me feel like they're kind of cut from the same cloth a little bit, and maybe it's partially with the locations that they shot this, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I can
think
see why people don't
X
like
and
Maxine.
Pearl, they're just this perfect duology that connects so well. And then Maxine, it kind of feels like he decided he wanted to make it a trilogy before he knew why. So he just kind of threw this together and it doesn't feel like it fits.
Let me tell you something though, Daniel, about me. And I'm not arguing with you. I totally hear you, right? There's just something weird about me. I'm a huge Chevy Chase fan. And I love
Me too.
that Chevy doesn't play good human beings. He's an
Yeah.
asshole in the beginning of the movie. He's an asshole in the middle of the movie. He's an asshole at the end of the movie. And for some reason, that's why I like Maxine so much. She's not a good person.
Well, she even
And
says
I-
in the beginning of the movie, she's like, you know, to get.
there's
to-
something-
Chevy
but
Chase
there's
is
something-
charismatic and charming.
But see, that's
Maxine is
but
not.
dude, I thought she was hot as hell as a blonde. And
sure.
I just thought because she was kind of a shitty, like to me, it made her so fucking attractive. And I just wanted to,
Those
I wanted
leather
to
pants.
watch this woman. So I'm not saying I loved it, but I'm not going to argue with you and say it's actually a coming of whatever the fuck somebody was
It's
calling
A
it.
Star is Born.
I like it though. I'll tell you,
They're
music-
basically the same movie.
I appreciate the music he used in there too with Rat and
This is good
stuff
music.
like that.
Love that.
I just liked it, and it was like nasty Hollywood. It wasn't like I said, like Stranger
It's
Things. I
American
feel like,
Gigolo Hollywood.
It looks
yeah,
Christian,
So-
you need to
Well,
watch
California.
Hardcore. You need to watch Hardcore.
I feel like I
Watch
guess
it.
I haven't seen that.
George C. Scott.
Yeah, that's the best.
Oh,
movie
George
on
C.
this
Scott.
Paul
year.
Schrader
It's Hardcore.
directed that.
See, I love
Yeah.
George C. as well. I don't know why I love his Scrooge movie.
Kino
by the way.
Lorber's got a Blu-ray, and you can get it. For
Yeah,
like
you told me to
$14
buy that. You told me to buy that.
The thing I don't get about Maxine is people complain about the third act. I feel like the third act was like in line with the rest of the movie. I just don't see that drastic of a shift.
Well, it is in that the reveal is so predictable that like
I'll agree with you there.
I
It
mean,
was
I was like,
predictable. Like I
where
knew
it was going the whole
from the
time.
beginning of the movie. Like,
But
you
I just
know,
thought it was executed really.
You don't put that
badly.
shot in the beginning for no reason.
Yeah.
It felt
Mhm.
also very Dave Paul.
kind of reminded me of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a little bit. The ending.
You see, what's funny about that because again,
That
I
movie's a
don't I don't
masterpiece.
watch trailers. So when the movie first started, I never watched Maxine trailers. When the movie first started, I swear to God, for a second, I was like, "Oh my God, they're putting Richard Ramirez in this movie." That's what I thought when they were like the Night
That would have
Stalker.
been cool.
That's what I thought, and then quickly I learned. Wait a minute. Okay,
I was okay.
It's gonna
I
be
was
the daddy.
confused by that because I thought they just decided that you know who is the Night Stalker, and I was like, okay, that's this movie's version of the Night Stalker. And I said something like that in my review, and people were like, well, no, he was like using the Night Stalker to cover up his blah blah. And I'm like, why on earth is it that complicated that we do all this talking about the Night Stalker and it makes no difference to the movie?
I also
I
thought
thought
it was
that was really
illustrating the
dumb.
dark side of Hollywood, in a way. It's like the whole movie's trying to show you that, like, for all the glitz and glamour, there's all this nastiness and cutthroat attitude.
Okay, well, the movie's like, there's this serial killer going on. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But it makes no difference to this movie and it has nothing to do with
No,
anything.
it's
Oh,
like a red
okay.
herring in the credits. I can
Why?
see that.
I like
I
Kevin
think-
Bacon a lot in it, though.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Who's great? Oh, Kevin Bacon.
I like Kevin
As
Bacon.
I don't think Daniel
Foghorn
I don't
Leghorn.
think Daniel likes him in this movie though.
Just the
I don't
slimy,
think
like,
he I don't think he
PI
likes
character. He was
He's
good.
entertaining as Foghorn Leghorn. He's like fun. He's like, I'll say Maxine. I'm a private detective. It's
He's
fun.
just sleazy.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I liked Elizabeth Debicki in it a lot too. I thought she was great.
I wish they would have made this movie like in another and before in my mind, I never even talked about this before. I almost wish they would have made this movie kind of like a Death Wish movie where she was just like
I think that
going
would've
more
been way
into
better.
because she killed before and like just I wish she would have went more into that.
that's- I mean, getting
Somebody-
into spoilers, that's what I thought. That's the direction I thought they were going to go. Like, she wants to be a star at any cost.
Somebody
matter what.
just commented on one of my
Right.
videos with such a great point and said that like they were comparing Maxine to Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler and how that movie is such a better version of like someone who will do whatever it takes
Yeah.
to be famous. And I was
That's
like,
what it
man,
should have
that's
been
such a good
about. That's the
point.
theme they were setting up from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, if they would have maintained that
throwing
entire
this weird
spectrum of the
Night
whole
Stalker
movie.
thing is just
Mhm.
There you go.
Christian, what is your most disappointing?
I'll tell you, I'm not joking. My most disappointing movie this year is Winnie the Pooh 2: Blood and Honey. And I'm
'cause
gonna
it
tell you
didn't live
why.
up to the first one.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Y'all can say what you want about the first Winnie the Pooh. All the charm, in my opinion, in 2 was gone. They got too big for their britches. They had too much money. They had a talking bird flying around, talking like Zeus, the god of thunder. The first Winnie the Pooh, I'm not saying it's good. Listen to me, okay? The first Winnie the Pooh, I love the fact that it's a fat bear with a smiling face that doesn't change and he wobbles. This one, Winnie the Pooh lost 100 pounds. He got on P90X. There was a talking bird, and it was like not as good. Something about the first Winnie the Pooh, I don't give a fuck. I love the first Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I really do. But the second one, I was like, no, this ain't it. So
I liked it.
the look of Winnie the Pooh in 2 just annoyed me. Why is he skinny? Why isn't Winnie fat? He's a bear that eats honey. Like, and he was dressed like Paul Bunyan. He looked in the first, well, he's dressed like Paul Bunyan in the second one as well. I love the look of Winnie the Pooh in the first movie. I really do. So 2 was just too much for me. I do like the look of the bird or the owl, but that one, I just feel like you can't give those people money. Do not give them money because they will just they do too much. So that was my least, and I really was looking forward to it because I love the first movie so much. So 2 was it was too big for its britches for me.
Yeah,
I want to see it. It played in my town and I was going to go see it. And then I discovered it was actually only one night and I missed it. I was bummed.
That's what happened. To
You
me
already
one
get
night.
your
I went-
Umbrella edition, Christian?
I reviewed it. I just haven't dropped the review yet. Yeah,
Oh, I'm so
I got my umbrella.
You're not. No, I'm not very excited to watch it. Thanks.
Dude,
I am
like,
excited to watch it
but you
still.
got to understand. Like, have you seen Winnie the Pooh?
I just like
yet?
having them in the collection.
Have you seen? Oh, I got them right
no,
there.
no. I
You can
watched
see
it.
them,
I watched the first one. Yeah.
dude. I'm
I
telling
like-
you, like, there's just something about Winnie the Pooh when you see him. His face doesn't change. He's walking in frame. He's fat.
I liked
And
how
he rolls
nobody
over the broad's
acknowledged
head.
that they were just dudes in masks. Like
That's what I'm saying.
they
That's
took
what-
it seriously.
That's
like
what I'm
the
saying. But
actors
dude,
took it
in
seriously.
two, that starts out with the bird, the owl. He talks like a Greek god, and it's his movie. It's not even Winnie's movie, in my opinion. It's just, dude, they gave him too much money. Like, they're doing too much. I feel it's like you can't give them money. You can't. You have to give them less money, as a matter of fact, for the
Give them
next
the
one.
same amount of money to do 3
So-
and 4 together.
I just think that the charm, people, dude, I saw so many people. This is what I don't get, Daniel. Let me tell you something, Daniel. When I saw people reviewing Winnie the Pooh, they were talking about, I I can't stand this. If you ever watch my movie reviews, I use words like cool, fun, and exciting. Okay, that's about as far as my vocabulary goes. I was watching people talk about character development in a movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I swear to God, I'm living in the fucking Twilight Zone. What are you talking about? Character development? What are you talking about? Like what?
They made the
I
movie
swear to
because
God,
it was in the
if
public
you
domain.
if you talk about character development or pacing in a movie called Winnie the Pooh, the fucking joke is on you. I
think
swear to God,
pacing
I'm
is
old.
fair.
No, it's not. Like I swear, I am old enough to where I don't give a fuck anymore. If you
What about
start talking
production
about stuff
value?
like, like I'm, you get what I'm, you
There's
get my
some
point.
cool-ass
I know y'all,
explosions in the
I know
first
y'all
one.
get what I'm saying. I swear,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah, yeah.
I can't take people seriously anymore.
They got
Everybody's
something
trying
to
to
talk about for 12 minutes. Give them a break.
Everybody's trying to put calculus to these fucking movies, and I can't stand it, dude. It's called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and you want to put pen to paper? What? So, dude, I can't anymore.
So are you
I-
saying that if your movie is called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, it should never be criticized? It's above criticism?
No,
Yes,
that's not
that's
what I'm
what he's
saying at
saying.
all. You can
That's
either
what he's
say,
saying.
I think when a movie is that ridiculous, you can either say I enjoyed it or I didn't. But if you start actually breaking down, there wasn't enough meat on the bone for Winnie. I didn't really feel his pain or where he was coming from. I'm sorry. You need to put on a helmet. That's what I'm saying. And I know you know where I'm coming from. I know you do. Imagine, Daniel. I want you to imagine you made that movie, and then you saw somebody talk about, dude, they didn't really give any backstory to Winnie. Christopher Robin, there wasn't much there. Like I want you to imagine you made this movie where you're laughing the entire time. You got
I
a
think
jackass
people are
and a Winnie the
just
Pooh.
I think
Go
people are
ahead, go
just
ahead.
trying to explain why they were bored. Because I admit I haven't seen the whole thing. I put it on one day, the first one,
Wow.
and I was just like, I don't have time for this. Like it was just
Dude,
I thought it was super boring and it just felt like it was going nowhere. And I was like, I'm out.
I thought it was a bad film, but I still thought it was okay. I haven't seen the second one, but yeah. And then to Christian's point, I mean, you're there. You already know what you're getting yourself into by the title of the damn movie.
It reminded me of
So-
one of those shitty straight to DVD movies I would find at the Hollywood Video randomly
course,
back in
that's- yes.
2003.
dude, it's just
Which
to
is
me.
really all they made it to. It just got more attention because it's Winnie the Pooh.
Exactly. They were
You
just
know-
trying to get a profit on.
Now those
Yeah.
movies are Walmart exclusives.
It's amazing.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
They're making Mickey Mouse now, right? Or
Oh, I
Steamboat
heard about
Willie?
that. Is it by the
Steamboat
same
Willie?
people?
Didn't the
Steamboat Willie.
copyright get blocked or something? They had to halt production.
Well, I
Is
don't
that
know.
what happened? I know that Disney's
No.
going to push back as much as they can on that, but because after 100 years, it's in the domain, but it's just Steamboat Willie, not Mickey Mouse completely.
All right. So you guys, we already talked about it long enough. So mine is just Maxine. I
All
just,
right.
yeah.
What the fuck
I
is
think,
going on
I
here?
think 3 out
I
of 5
know.
of us chose
My
Maxine.
favorite movie
I
of the year.
didn't hate it. I thought it was okay.
I love the first two so much.
I understand.
But
I don't even like
It
the
as a
first one. I don't
whole.
know what I was excited for, honestly.
I love the first one.
I
Love it.
think Pearl's the best.
I
still,
rewatched
would
it
really
recently, and it's pretty good.
um,
A little more.
so Christian, what is the horror film that you're this will be the last one. What's the horror film that you're looking forward to? There can be like multiple, because I know there's some damn good ones coming up.
It's without a shadow of a doubt Nosferatu. Like I'm putting all my chips on this being the best movie of the year.
Oh hell yeah.
I need it to be. When I say I can't afford another Dracula bomb, I mean it really is. I'm taking it personal. Like I still have a list of people that I know that didn't go see Nosferatu Last Voyage in the theater. They're on a list. Like that's how upset I am.
Damn
that they're-
long list.
Like, dude, no, like seriously, I'm a Dracula fanatic. I love the Hammer Draculas, Dracula 79, Bram Stoker's, The Blood of Dracula, Dracula AD 72. Like, I'm a Dracula fan, right? And for me, it's like I love when these movies keep coming out. And for them to do another, and I love the 79 Nosferatu with Klaus, like for them to do a new Nosferatu, like I really am excited, because to me, it's not Michael, it's not even Freddy, it's not Jason. To me, the king of horror is and will always be Dracula. To me, there will
Dude,
never
you are
be a
my
greatest
man.
character.
Mhm.
And
Hell
for
yeah.
me, thank you. And I think this could be it. You know, my issue is I don't think Ken's going to get his ass to the theater.
Christian,
see it.
I watched Renfield on Peacock.
Listen, and I know you didn't like that. And I'll be honest with you, dude.
No, I
It's
thought it was
okay.
I
It's
thought it was
okay. It was fun in the
Renfield was
theater.
okay.
Right. It was fun in the theater, but then like you kind of come off of it. It's like, okay, it is what it
I
is.
just
But
didn't like all the stupid mob shit in there. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
the cops and I just wanted to be more like
You
a
wanted
pure
more- I understand.
Dracula,
I
fun
understand.
Nicolas
understand.
Cage. Yeah,
But dude, Last Voyage was good. Like I thought it was a good.
I haven't seen it yet.
It has a
dude-
really good Dolby Atmos as well.
Dude,
I wanted to get a 4K. You know, it's Universal, and
I
they still just
understand.
had the
I
Blu-ray hovering
understand.
at $10.
well, you could
and
at least, dude. It's on
I can
Peacock.
just
You could at
feel
least
that
watch
4K
it.
coming.
Just watch it though. It's on Peacock.
But I want to own it.
You will
know?
own it.
So
You will own it.
I'll
But I'm
get
saying
it.
check it
I'll
out,
do
dude. But no, for real, Nosferatu, I'm putting every chip in the basket for that movie. I need it to win. I
Mhm.
need it to.
I mean, I'll watch that.
What
one
do you
for
think
sure,
about
'cause
the
that's
release
Robert
date?
Eggers.
It's on Christmas.
Merry
horrible
Christmas.
release date.
I'll be honest with you. I would have preferred it to be. I would have preferred it to be an October movie. Like I don't know why
Yeah.
Nosferatu's scared of Terrifier 3, but at the end of the day, you know
Terrifier
what?
3 should be on Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, let's save the best for last. I'm
Maybe
excited
November.
I'm excited for Alien, Romulus. I'm excited for that. Haven't watched the trailer. Like I said, I'm done. I don't watch trailers anymore. But I
What
am
do you do
ready.
in the theater? Are you gonna like close your eyes?
Yeah, that's the only
No,
time
I
when I
just
watch
no.
the trailer.
I mean,
That's the only time I watch.
I
trailers
zone
for
out,
movies.
or I don't show up till after the trailer.
I pretty much just I'll sit there and play on my phone or watch the trailers if I'm in there, you know. So I mean I'm not gonna blindfold myself, or by that point I'm in there. So it is what it is. So I've seen the trailer for Nosferatu and everything, and I just think it looks dynamite. I think it just looks absolutely dynamite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Daniel, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, for sure. Nosferatu. Music to my ears. Everything you're saying, Christian. Dracula is my favorite character of all time. I did see Last Voyage of the Demeter in theaters. I didn't see Renfield only because I had a new baby at home, but I did
You
buy it
piece of
digitally for
shit.
$20. To see it.
Ken,
I know.
let's be
I know.
respectful.
You just made the list.
But
Let's be
yeah,
respectful.
I'm so excited about Nosferatu. But I will say, since it's already been mentioned, my next one is definitely Terrifier 3. I love Terrifier 2. I'm so hyped for this third one.
Dude, it was a little long though, right?
Not for me.
Terrifier
I was
2?
into it. Yeah, I was with it the whole time.
When you're Ken's age, though, you got to take a piss after an hour 10.
Yeah, I'm not that
lying.
old. Come
You
on.
ain't lying.
He's got a bag.
He's got the male catheter with him. You just hear something hitting, like water hitting a bucket in there. Like, what the hell is that?
Dude, I have to stop taking drinks into the theater.
Oh man!
Oh my goodness. Ken, what's your most anticipated?
Come on, Ken. Come on, say the right thing.
I'm looking forward to Alien Romulus. Just because it's Fede Alvarez. I haven't been blown away by the trailers or anything. Cuckoo. Is that how you pronounce it?
Comes out
Looks
this
like-
weekend. Yeah.
Looks like
Cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Clock.
I think Neon's doing a really great job. I mean, between
Hell
Immaculate,
yeah.
Long Legs, and
They're
Cuckoo,
kind of
I mean,
overtaking.
they feel
A24
like
for
the
me.
new A24 to me. A24
Mhm.
feels more like mainstream and studio at this point.
And they're trying to
Mhm.
be too, May 24.
I saw
Yeah.
before Maxine. I saw 2 A24 horror trailers, and they looked indistinguishable from Blumhouse. I mean, they just look like a
yeah,
Blumhouse.
I think
movie.
they're.
That's what I'm
yeah.
worried about.
But Neon's always been great. Always been great. Titan, I thought was really freaking
Mandy.
gnarly,
Titan was great.
and, Mandy and yeah, Cuckoo. I've seen the trailer a couple times in theaters, and there's some shots in that really kind of stuck with me. So I'm
That's
excited.
one
to see
where
it.
I watched,
and it's
like-
got Dan Stevens. It's got Dan Stevens
Yeah.
as well.
I saw that
So-
trailer in
Oh,
theaters, and
sweet.
like halfway through, I was like, "I'm going to see this," and I just kind of started looking down and not
Yeah.
looking at anything else.
I don't even really know what it's about, but it looks pretty.
Yeah, I don't
gnarly.
either.
Can I interject something
Understood.
really quick? I don't know how I forgot about this. I really hated Strangers Chapter 1. Just for
Oh,
record.
yeah.
I don't know why I forgot
that
about
was
that.
my number one. That was my number one.
Oh, I'm
before I
sorry.
changed
Number
it.
one.
Changed it last
Dude.
minute to In a Violent Nature. I didn't
Whatever
feel
you
that
like.
would go over
No,
very
there's
well.
zero chance you like Strangers Chapter 1. Zero chance.
It was boring.
It was in a nice.
I don't
field,
even
but
really
of course
like
you
The
liked it.
Strangers.
What? Strangers is fucking
Strangers
amazing.
is okay. I like
No,
the
dude,
sequel
no,
better.
dude, what are you talking? Dude, the beginning of The Strangers, what made that so different, Ken, was dude, to bring a couple in that just like didn't get married because she didn't want to. That tension, like, dude, That's
I
what
need to
made
go
that
back and
movie
rewatch
work
it. It's
so
been a while
good.
since I've seen it.
You
You
weren't
didn't
even
think it worked-
thinking. You weren't even thinking it was a horror
You didn't
movie
think the
until
fact
the
that the
first
guy
knock.
wouldn't propose to the girl that didn't build tension?
What I'm saying, dude, it was so well done that you forget it's a horror movie until they start knocking. That's how good that was.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
I'm
really
saying.
more like A Star Is Born, honestly.
Dude, the
Yeah,
First
it's a Star
Strangers,
Is Born.
dude, people were running out of in 08. I was there, dude. People were running out of the theater in that movie. I remember it, dude.
Shits.
No, I'm telling you,
there.
dude.
You're
Shit.
my age. You would have been young in 08.
16, 17.
I was 16 in 08.
Damn, y'all so young.
Another one I'm interested to see is Chris Stuckman's film Shelby Oaks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When does that come out?
I'm actually a Kickstarter back.
That's Neon too, right?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, it's Neon
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got. I'm hoping that's good. You know,
Me
Mhm.
too. I
I
like.
think it's cool that he made a movie.
Yeah, it's basically getting to live out his dream finally.
Yeah.
John, what's the most anticipated for you?
Like two of these other guys, I also picked Nosferatu. I cannot wait. I mean, Robert Eggers, he's 2.5 out of 3 for me. I really love the first two movies, The Witch and The Lighthouse. The Northman was all right. I liked it.
Oh,
I
come
loved
on,
how it was
man.
made. I didn't
I
fall
like
in
the
love with it, though.
Northman. I like the Northman. Yeah.
I bought the 4K and I watched it again. I'd still say it's like a 7.5, 8 out of 10, whereas like The Lighthouse and The
That's
Witch.
great.
are easy-
The Lighthouse
are
the movie,
easily
I didn't know
between
what
9
to
and
think
10.
of it. I saw that in
I
the
loved it.
theaters and I was like, what is
Fortnite.
going on? But I've watched it like 2 times. I've watched it 2 times at home, and like every time I watch it, it grows on me. So I really love
Dude,
that
that
movie now.
that scene where they kill the bird is so fucked up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
It's
fucked up stuff in
demented
that
as
movie.
hell.
Him and the light, Robert Pattinson, that light.
Mm.
This is
The
ridiculous.
farts, the goddamn farts.
You do like my cooking, don't you? Say like that.
Dude.
That's wild.
Uh,
That's a good one.
my most anticipated is for sure Nosferatu. I
Come on,
mentioned
Frank!
this in multiple videos. Same thing with you guys, especially Christian. Yeah, I love Dracula. I've always loved Dracula. I think part of it was when I was really young, seeing Monster Squad, and just fucking how badass Dracula was, and just yeah, I love it, man. And I
There you
think
go,
Robert
bro.
Eggers is just a fantastic director, and it's kind of like oh gosh, brain fart. The guy who did Oculus and is in
Mike
charge
Flanagan.
of
Mike
Flanagan.
Flanagan.
I like anything that I loved everything he's done, and so I all chips like you said. It's like
Can't wait to see Exorcist Deceiver, directed by Mike Flanagan.
Hell yeah. No, for real. It's gonna be good.
They-
Dude,
It'll definitely be better than the last one.
Oh, it's got to be yeah.
that's-
Alien, Romulus too. I'm a huge Alien franchise.
you know what? Even
person.
if the movie's bad, I got my bucket the other day. I'm cool. You know what I'm
Did you
saying?
get it already?
I got my alien bucket.
Christian gets every bucket. 3 of them.
I got it.
What
Yeah,
do
I
you
got it.
call
My
it?
other,
He's
I got it
like
in my other living room.
he's like the basement blues of popcorn bucket.
Dude, I straight, dude. It's so funny.
We love
like,
you, Tony. We love
I
you,
want
Did
Tony.
you
up-
get
I walk
Twisters?
I walk up to Cinemark, dude. Like it's funny because they got the girl at the teller, and she's walking, and I'll just hear it like, "Sir, sir," and like I just keep walking. I go straight up, get my bucket, and leave. Like the other day, I went and got my alien bucket. I got the Garfield bucket. I got the Dune bucket. Dude. I was so hyped for Ghostbusters
You
Afterlife.
got like 8
I
Slimer
needed-
buckets.
I needed so there was the Cinemark where he's holding the red bucket, and then I found out there was a Canadian variant because there's a place called Cineplex, which is there versus Cinemark. So I had a guy in
Please
Canada.
in the
I was like,
chat.
dude, I need the Canadian variant. So I have I have the Cineplex version of Slimer with the blue bucket that says Cineplex on it.
Thank you. I just want to point out, yeah, thank you, Danny, you pointed it out. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Smelly Potato. So I appreciate, thank you so much for the super chat.
No, I pointed out Cletus Van Dam in the chat because his
Oh,
comment
what'd he say?
cracked me up.
Cletus
Which
Van
one?
Dam.
Cletus Van Dam.
Oh, slip cover for the bucket, please.
Dude, the Beetlejuice stuff looks off. the
Dude, that
chain.
looks so good. I'm definitely gonna
I'm getting that.
Oh
Ooh,
my
that's
gosh.
for
I want the
high
shrunken head.
anticipated
I want the
for me.
shrunken head cup. And
They
I
got
want
one of
Twisters
those?
was such a letdown.
yeah,
with their
there's a
fucking
shrunken
stuff.
head cup. It's
Are
got
you
a straw in the
kidding?
head. Yes.
I gotta
look-
get that.
Yeah, you gotta look at the promo picture. Comes out 9/5 is one of those things.
Yeah,
hit.
September. Yeah. All
I
right.
think the Shrunken Head is the best movie character of all time.
Oh yeah, without
I love
question.
Yeah, it's better than Dracula.
Dude, you realize listen. Do
Yes,
y'all
I do.
remember- Listen,
I do
y'all
also want to
remember-
point out that I'm looking forward to Nosferatu as well.
like 4 or 5 months ago, do you guys remember there was this stuff going around like sign this petition because they want to have a Terrifier 3 bucket for the movie this year? If they actually do a bucket for art, it's going to be, you realize how insane that's going to be. Like,
Yeah.
They should do it.
Mhm.
I didn't
you
even know
remember?
that. Yeah.
It was, dude. Somebody was sending me the links, like sign it. And it was like petitions going around that like they want an art like clown head for a popcorn bucket.
Wow.
I won't be
that would
surprised if they
actually
do
be
it.
Pretty sick. Holy cow. Dang. Yeah, thank you guys. Honestly, this has been one of the best nights ever, man. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, John, Ken, Daniel, Christian, Ashley, Ken. Thank you guys so much for joining. All their links for their accounts, social for the YouTube channels is a Supernatural. Oh yeah, man.
It's my show, dude. I love that show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Jensen Ackles freak.
Yeah. But yeah, all their YouTube channels will be down in the description video or description section. So thank you guys so much. And remember to hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys on the next live stream. So thank you guys.
See
Cheers,
you.
fellas.
Night, guys.